Bonsoir à tous. Cette nuit, on va poursuivre et normalement terminer The Raven Remastered, qui est un point and click fort sympathique jusqu'à présent, malgré des gros soucis de bug au tout début. Mais une fois que c'était réglé et qu'on a pu commencer proprement, le jeu est plutôt plaisant. C'est bon, c'est du point and click typique, mais c'est vraiment tout ce qui est univers Agatha Christie. Du coup, c'est assez sympathique. Le fait de démarrer dans un train, voilà, résoudre des énigmes dans un train, puis sur un bateau, c'est assez cool. Et même si le scénario est prévisible sur certains trucs, il y a quand même 2-3 surprises. Et je trouve que ça s'enchaîne bien. Le jeu est plaisant. Il n'est pas extrêmement lourd, mais il n'est pas non plus court. Pour un point and click, il a une durée de vie très correcte, même une bonne durée de vie, je trouve. Donc il y a des choses à faire. Et si on enlève les bugs du début, je trouve que ça tourne pas trop mal. Graphiquement, c'est pas une claque visuelle, mais après les point and click, à part peut-être une ou deux exceptions, c'est jamais une qualité graphique exceptionnelle. C'est des jeux qui sont ni dégueulasses ni très beaux, mais c'est des jeux qui sont sont jolis sans plus, sans être moches. C'est dans la lignée, c'est visuellement c'est pas immonde. Et c'est pas ce qu'on va regarder sur ce genre de jeu. Par exemple, si je prends un autre exemple, les Siberia, qui sont des point and click extrêmement connus au niveau de la commu qui sont fans de ce genre de jeu, les point and click. Les Siberia, c'est pas des beaux jeux, hein. Les 1 et 2, les deux premiers sont dégueulasses, après ils sont vieux aussi, donc c'est normal. Le 3 est un peu du même niveau graphique que The Raven par exemple. Ça n'empêche pas que Sibérien est un point and click qui est très apprécié et qui reste une des valeurs sûres dans le domaine des point and click. C'est vraiment l'un des... Ouais, c'est peut-être l'un des meilleurs point and click, je sais pas, mais c'est l'un des gros jeux, une des grosses licences dans les point and click. Et le graphisme ne fait pas tout, surtout dans ce style de jeu. Donc The Raven, il est pas... Voilà, il est beau sans plus, mais il est loin d'être moche et il est plutôt sympa. Il y a une ou deux choses auxquelles je m'attendais pas, donc il y a quelques surprises, une ou deux surprises. Parfois oui, c'est des choix de scénario que l'on connaît ou que l'on a l'habitude de voir dans les point and click ou même dans par exemple film ou série, mais malgré ça il se laisse jouer. Et par exemple la dernière fois on a arrêté parce qu'il était tôt, il était genre 7-8 heures du mat'. Et ouais, aux alentours de 7 heures, je crois, et je voulais pas prendre le risque. Je me dis, on est sur le 3e et dernier chapitre, selon le temps que ça dure, ça va être long. Mais j'avais vraiment envie de continuer, donc quand on a envie de continuer, généralement, c'est que c'est un jeu qui nous plaît bien, sur lequel on est bien. Et là, en l'occurrence, c'est le cas. Donc j'ai hâte de découvrir cette suite et fin de ce jeu, que je referai avec plaisir pour le platiner par la suite. Mais déjà, il faut le finir une première fois. Je voulais voir une petite chose. Donc oui, une chose que j'avais appréciée, alors certains peuvent ne pas aimer. Moi en l'occurrence ça me gêne pas. J'aurais aimé poursuivre avec le personnage principal, mais on a changé de personnage. On a joué alors on avait un premier personnage principal, puis on a joué un second personnage à partir d'un moment donné, qui est dans la chambre dans laquelle on va rentrer. Qui est ce personnage-là, qui est allongé sur le lit. Donc on l'a joué un petit peu.
He has the enviable talent of being able to sleep anywhere, anytime. He once fell asleep on a cable car and only woke up after he'd already gone up the mountain and back down again.
Et du coup, c'est sympa ce changement de perso, surtout que ça permet de voir par exemple une partie de l'histoire que l'on a joué avec le personnage principal et que l'on va rejouer d'un autre point de vue, du point de vue de d'un des autres protagonistes, qu'on ne voyait pas forcément lorsqu'on a joué la première fois. Du coup je trouve ça cool, et là on joue avec cette jeune fille et on serait peut-être amené à changer de personnage à nouveau, je ne sais pas.
I don't like wearing hats, but they do
Donc
fit
on
the
verra.
role. And I have to admit that the day in London when we shopped for Patricia Mayers was a lot of fun. Normally I don't carry so many things around, but it would have been suspicious if I'd come aboard with nothing but a rucksack whilst pretending to be the daughter of a wealthy family.
Ce que je reproche un petit peu, c'est la bande son. Alors ce n'est pas que je n'aime pas, hein.
It's supposed to remind me that money
J'aime bien la
isn't the
bande son, il
most
n'y a pas de
important
souci, je
thing in
trouve que
life.
par moments
If all you've got
ça
is
donne
this
bien,
penny,
c'est bien.
as
Mais
well
je trouve
as
que c'est
family and friends,
il y a,
then you're a
il y a
very
peu de
rich
variété
girl.
dans les différentes musiques, dans les différents
bring
types
me
bande
luck.
son du coup. Bah voilà, mais en soi c'est pas mal, hein. C'est vraiment pas, c'est une critique,
I
mais
always
c'est pas
try to
pour être
carry as
méchant ou
few
vraiment
personal
critique, c'est
items
que
as possible. If my
je trouve que
things
ça
are ever
manque un peu de
searched,
variété par
they
moment
won't reveal my
dans la
true
musique.
identity.
Et par moments c'est dommage parce que c'est un peu répétitif, mais sinon la bande son est quand même sympathique.
It happened pretty fast between us. It was magic when we first met. Birds of a feather flock together, and he can be very charming.
Sauf quand il ronfle.
Daddy wasn't at all amused when I brought him home, mind, but I don't think he'd have been satisfied with anyone.
Ok. Ça la dernière fois, l'autre jour je crois que je l'avais pas fait, donc c'est
Okay,
peut-être
then.
bien
I am
que je le fasse parce que ça se trouve il y a des choses à découvrir.
Mayers. Young, attractive, clueless. I am Patricia Mayers.
Alors, c'est vrai que t'es plutôt jolie, hein.
We booked this cabin because it's centrally located. Easy to duck in whenever we need to. Of course, the fact that it's a first-class cabin with a huge bathroom and shower had nothing to do with it. As soon as I've swapped the jewels, I'll treat myself to a hot shower, and then we'll see how the evening progresses. As soon as I've swapped the jewels... As soon as I...
Ok. Est-ce qu'on a tout regardé? Je pense que oui. On a dû interagir avec tout ce qu'il y avait. Quitter la cabine, ok.
As soon as I've swapped... As soon...
Non, moi je pense que il y aurait eu d'autres interactions possibles ici. On aurait déjà eu un autre texte ou quelque chose d'autre à regarder ou faire. Donc on va pouvoir poursuivre.
I'm sure I could help you if... Stand aside. If you told me what you're looking for. You're just getting in my way. Now get out. I'll wait at the door, madam. Yes, yes. Oh, Miss...
Mayers?
Can I help you?
No, I'm just having a look around the ship. Good day. That was close.
On poursuit direct, ok. Bon, on va faire le tour de l'extérieur du bateau du coup.
A deck chair in the sunshine on a cruise ship. I'd be a fool to miss out on that tomorrow, but I have to take care of my duties before I can relax in the sun. Ah, lovely big towel. I hope tomorrow I'll have a chance to sunbathe and enjoy the rest of the trip.
Là, il n'y a plus rien à faire, on n'a plus rien à regarder a priori. C'est dommage, on peut pas accélérer. Bon, après, on marche pas non plus très lentement, donc ça va. Mais ça aurait été bien de pouvoir courir. Ouais, bon. C'est pas grave, c'est un point technique, c'est normal, il faut interagir pour aller dans la zone d'après ou d'avant. Toujours été le cas.
Practicality was definitely placed ahead of design here. I guess the Lydia regularly docks at harbours that don't have their own gangways, and rather than make the passengers climb ladders, they opted for the less beautiful alternative.
Et tu crois qu'ils faisaient comment pour monter sur les paquebots du style Titanic et tout à l'époque et même encore aujourd'hui quoi? Enfin je sais pas comment ça se passe aujourd'hui hein, mais j'imagine que c'est pareil, les grandes passerelles ou comme un peu dans les aéroports quoi, les passerelles un peu amovibles qui nous emmènent directement sur le navire quoi.
Two handsome sailors are standing at the table and studying a marine map. Good thing they're busy. I can have a look around without being disturbed. If someone leaves the bridge, I'll pretend to be stargazing, and if that doesn't work, I'll just turn on the charm.
Ok. Bah vas-y, je joue du charme, on va voir.
A classic. The thief enters through the ventilation shaft. Can it really be that easy? No, it can't. The cover is screwed shut.
Normal, tu voudrais pas qu'elle soit dévissée direct, quoi.
All the first-class cabins have their own ventilation. The shaft might be my best point of entry, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed shut.
Ouais, tu l'as déjà dit.
All the first-class cabins have their... but...
J'interagis plusieurs fois parce que parfois ça nous apporte d'autres choses ou ça permet de faire un certain nombre d'interactions avec le même objet ou le même endroit par exemple pour valider quelque chose ou même au niveau de ce qu'on doit faire pour parfois pour le jeu, pour les trophées ou autres.
But the pole it's attached to could be very useful one day. It's about 80 centimeters long and looks quite stable. Yes, it's sturdy, but it's also too cumbersome to carry around. No, there's no gap to put the pole in. I can't force the cover open.
Je sais même pas ce que ça va faire.
I could tie the bath towel around the pole, put the pole across the ventilation shaft, and climb down with the help of the towel. Sounds like a plan. No, there's no gap to put... all the first-class cabin, but...
Ouais.
The penny might be the right size. The penny fits perfectly into the screw slot, but my fingers aren't strong enough to turn the screw. No, there's... The penny fits perfectly into the screw slot.
Qu'est-ce que je pourrais
But my
utiliser?
fingers aren't strong enough to turn the screw. The penny...
Bon, je pense que pour l'instant j'ai fini. On va essayer de trouver un outil ou quelque chose pour nous donner la force nécessaire à exercer pour ouvrir la grille. Puisque je pense que de toute façon il faudra revenir ici. Donc on va continuer à explorer le navire et après on descendra, on ira parler aussi dans la salle principale pour voir les invités, échanger avec eux.
This should be the entrance to the cargo hold. Not really my concern.
Il n'y a rien à faire ici, non.
Bull, curling, shuffleboard, all the same to me. I'm not interested in any of that now.
Mon cher, enfin ma chère, le curling généralement c'est sur la glace, donc tu sais que c'est pas du curling. La pétanque sur un navire avec une marelle, enfin ce qui ressemble à une marelle, je pense pas, hein, je dois dire, ça paraît peu probable. Et le palais généralement, alors sauf s'il y a des palais différents en fonction des pays ou des régions, ce qui est sûrement le cas, on sait qu'il y a des variantes même pour des jeux, par exemple dans un même pays comme la France, on a des variantes de plusieurs jeux de société ou de jeux de plein air, donc oui, mais bon... Oui, palais ici. Non, on peut pas interagir avec les bancs, je crois.
The poster proudly announces the ship's first Atlantic crossing. The city of New York welcomes the MS Lydia. The silhouette of New York and of a ship, but not of this one. They probably use the same template for every ship. Looks pretty official, with a coat of arms, flag, seal, and all the trappings. And the poster is clean as a whistle. Someone seems to cherish it. The silhouette of New York and of a ship. Looks pretty... The silhouette... Look... Inch is intelligent and ruthless, a dangerous combination. He's not a brilliant planner, but he is smart and careful. He senses danger. I'm afraid he might suspect that something is wrong. I think he's frightening. You look in his face and you'd believe that he's at peace with the world and himself. But Adil told me about his mood swings. From one moment to the next, the mask falls away, and he's capable of anything. No use worrying about him now. I have a job to do. No use worrying about... No use...
Ok. Est-ce qu'on peut sortir par ce côté? Je ne crois pas. Non. Ce que j'adore dans les point and click ou les jeux de ce style-là, ou certains autres jeux aussi dans lesquels c'est le cas parfois, c'est que vous avez par exemple un personnage ou même d'autres personnages qui peuvent parler de tout et de rien, que ce soit de d'autres personnes ou de trucs importants, graves, dangereux ou genre secrets. Enfin peu importe. Ils vont parler devant les autres personnages du jeu et là en mode c'est un peu comme si on était au théâtre avec je sais plus comment ça s'appelle quand c'est des dialogues que l'on dit à voix haute mais que par exemple un des autres acteurs de la pièce ne doit pas entendre mais et du coup on parle quand même à voix haute et là c'est exactement la même chose, c'est-à-dire que le personnage que l'on joue, alors là c'est la jeune fille mais c'est aussi le cas avec les autres personnages que l'on a joué jusqu'à présent. En gros on a parlé du majordome devant lui il était à un mètre en mode il est dangereux et tout, j'ai peur qu'il se doute de quelque chose et lui il est là ouais dit des choses de mal sur moi mais je l'entends pas. Après c'est un point technique, on sait que c'est normal, voilà, c'est pas un bug, c'est pas que c'est mal fait, c'est que c'est très typique de ce style de jeu là. C'est le cas aussi sur d'autres jeux, ça existe en théâtre, dans d'autres domaines, donc il n'y a pas de souci. Mais j'avoue que parfois ça fait un peu sourire et je trouve ça assez comment dire, assez sympa de dire tout un tas de choses devant le mec, il est à 1 mètre de toi et non, il n'entend rien quoi.
Art and culture today. Ah, there's something about the exhibition. Unique masterpieces exhibited for the first time together in their home country. Tireless efforts of Baroness von Trebitz. No time for reading. I have to find the secret compartment in the Baroness's cabin. No time for reading. The only regular event seems to be the nightly drink in the saloon. Judging from the rest of the entertainment program, it seems necessary. No time for reading. No time for reading. No time.
Des fois, par exemple, on voit que la fiche qu'il y avait dans le tableau, on l'a lu, on a interagi une fois, et on ne pouvait plus interagir derrière. Donc des fois, quand on peut interagir à nouveau avec un objet que l'on a déjà interagi, je le fais toujours parce que parfois ça débloque des choses, que ce soit pour avancer, ou alors pour faire un meilleur score. Alors, on n'a pas vraiment de score dans le jeu, si à la fin de chaque chapitre on a un score, mais quand j'ai meilleur score, c'est à dire que dans le jeu vous avez des trophées. Vous avez 3 trophées par chapitre, qui vous demande de finir le chapitre soit en étant un bon enquêteur, très bon enquêteur, ou en gros un excellent enquêteur. Enfin, vous voyez le délire. Et du coup, c'est lié aux actions que vous allez faire si vous avez relevé tous les indices, les secrets, ce genre de choses. Donc c'est pour ça que c'est utile de le faire. Et parfois, en interagissant avec les différentes choses, parfois il faut vraiment interagir un maximum de fois pour débloquer toutes ces choses-là, pour remplir les conditions pour les trophées ou même pour avancer correctement dans le jeu, quoi.
And the stern deck looks different. It was obviously made before the ship was remodeled. Maybe one of the crew whiled away the long nights at sea building the model. Only someone with a lot of time and a love of the original could build such a thing.
Voilà, par exemple, on voit qu'on peut plus interagir.
No time for
Est-ce qu'on peut interagir avec autre chose ici? Je ne crois pas, on avait déjà fait le tour.
We briefly discussed whether we should try to steal the second eye here on the ship. The lack of escape routes and the 10-centimeter thick door to the safe settled the question. Legrand is an important part of our plan. He's the one who'll arrest Inch in the end, but there's still a lot to do before that happens.
Come in.
Oh, c'était chelou la façon dont on est rentré. Des fois, il y a des petits bugs. Hein,
How can I help you, young lady?
What are the other passengers like?
Listen, young lady, I do not really have time to chat right now. Today is my first day, and it is going differently than I had expected.
You do seem a little stressed. Maybe you should relax. Stress isn't good for you.
You're right. If there is nothing else I can
Non,
help
tout
you
oui, mais
with.
il a pas l'air dans son assiette.
You weren't really helpful at all. Maybe I'll come back later. Bye now.
Je crois qu'on l'a...
The good doctor seems to be very busy. I shouldn't bother him.
Ok, ok.
No time for reading. No time.
Non, on peut rien faire avec.
I have no idea where Inch had the fake jewel made. But it's amazing. Even someone with as much experience as I have has to look twice before realizing it's a fake. I'm going to repair the necklace. But that can wait until tonight. I'm going to repair them. I'm going...
Merde. Bon, on va remonter, on va aller dans la pièce principale. Ce qui ressemble à une sorte de salon, salle à manger, salle des fêtes au niveau de la terrasse, au niveau de là où on était tout à l'heure.
No use worrying about him now. I have a job to do.
Ah, c'est vrai, t'as un job? Oh. Tadam. It's beautiful. Oh, c'est trop mignon. Ah, c'est pour ce matin.
Bravo! Bravissimo! Fantastico!
Ah, le,
Would it be okay for you if I get some fresh air up on deck?
le capitaine va nous la faire dans toutes les langues.
Give my regards to the sea.
Et il y a son toutou qui le suit. Cette démarche qu'il a. Ce cul qui se balance et tout.
Wooden skeletons, just small enough to carry around unseen.
Voleuse. Oh, je vais te dénoncer. Appelez l'armée de terre, appelez l'armée de l'air, appelez la marine, appelez Jane, appelez tout le monde là les gars.
But I
Ah, la
think
volée,
that
une spatule en bois.
Kreutzer really is a very skilled violinist. At least I liked it, and the captain was certainly smitten. Excuse me, gentlemen.
She can't have meant you, Mr. Kreutzer. Why don't you just let me have a conversation with the young lady?
I just wanted...
Did you count the rings on your fingers, my dear?
I think I'm going to stretch my legs.
But, Mr. Kreutzer, please stay. You simply must tell me more about your wonderful violin.
If you insist.
There seems to be tension between the violinist and the writer. I'd better not get involved.
Ah, on sort du champ et... Où est mon personnage? Ah, elle est là. Elle m'a fait peur, la petite. Hein. Ah bah c'est bon, on peut faire comme... Ok. Ok, est-ce qu'on peut passer derrière le comptoir, là? Non, on peut pas. On va aller parler avec madame la violoniste. Madame... pas la violoniste.
A wonderful concert, wasn't it?
Celle qui n'apprécie pas
I
le
wouldn't have
violoniste.
expected you to be a connoisseur of classical music.
Because I'm American?
Because you're young, and friendly, and radiant. Someone like you doesn't have to know a lot to get along well in life.
I'm not planning on throwing myself at a man.
I'm glad to hear it. You have to work, earn your own money.
Oh, I will! My grades are excellent, and I really want to study acting in New York.
None of my books has ever been made into a good film. The stories were twisted, shortened, and simplified so that even the dimmest fellow could follow them.
I want to do theater and travel. I speak 3 languages.
That would be 3 more than most people your age can speak. Do what you have to do. But stay away from bad men.
Mr. Kreutzer possesses impressive technique, don't you think?
He certainly does. His numerous playmates in Austria can tell you more about it than I.
You mean Mr. Kreutzer is a womanizer?
I'm not talking about cheap skirts. I'm talking about expensive clothes. A man like him needs funds to support his lifestyle. Just go over to him, my dear. Tell the maestro that your family is wealthy. You have everything he's looking for. Money and a pretty face.
Hold your tongue.
Mr. Kreutzer, Lady Westmacott, please.
Or did you have your eye on me, Mr. Kreutzer? Old, yes, but rich.
Jezebel.
Mr. Kreutzer, Maestro.
That's better. Freeloader.
You and Mr. Kreutzer, you seem to know each other.
Not really, but I know his type. Parasites who cling to the rich and famous and suck them dry. The young, misunderstood painter. The innovative writer who writes books that no one wants to read. The musical talent that has to be supported. The ladies and gentlemen of high society let the others use them and call themselves patrons. Another word for fool.
Didn't you finance archaeological excavations in the Near East and Egypt?
For my husband, and I was there myself. I catalogued items for him, and I didn't show him off like a trophy at cocktail parties, but my son was one of them, the worst kind. The kind that sucks not only the money, but also the life right out of a person.
Is this your first trip on the Lydia?
That's quite enough. Life is too short for conversations like this. I do wish that rather delightful Swiss policeman had come along.
I heard you had an interesting trip on the train.
It was thrilling. I'm hoping for an encore. Perhaps in Cairo.
May I take my leave?
You may.
The lady is not a fan of shallow conversation, which I respect. I shouldn't talk to her unless I have something serious to say. The lady is not a fan of shallow I shouldn't talk...
Ok. Apparemment, il n'y a rien d'autre à faire dans cette pièce principale, donc on va aller à l'extérieur.
He's sweating profusely. Burst capillaries and a sweet odor. I hope the crew doesn't take the captain for a role model, and that they stay sober for the rest of the trip. He's sweating profusely. I hope the crew does... I hope...
Ok.
A handsome man and a talented musician, but he doesn't seem very happy. Hello, Mr. Kreutzer.
Do you want to have a go at me, like the old witch in there?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Now is not the best time.
I just wondered why you're not performing on the world's great stages.
Fate, perhaps. Or bad luck. My parents opened every door for me and my sister and expected corresponding careers.
Over-ambitious parents who force their children to play music?
No, it wasn't like that. I loved it. I loved to play the violin. They didn't have to force me. I wanted to do it on my own. I thought I would achieve my goals if only I worked hard enough. But it was not to be.
What happened?
In a more dramatic story, I'd say that I broke my hand just before my big break, or that I was rejected because of my nationality or my name, or that I was brought down by a conspiracy. But nothing like that ever happened. I practiced like mad. Got better and better. Really good. But nothing happened. The right people never heard me. I was never in the right place at the right time. Can you imagine how it feels to always be on the cusp of a breakthrough? To be just one evening away from becoming an overnight sensation? To see how other, less talented violinists pass you by because you just aren't lucky enough?
How terrible.
For every star in the limelight, there are a dozen more that burn out unseen, fading month by month. I didn't want to be one of those people who waste their lives chasing dreams without realizing that they're unattainable. If I couldn't have the life that I always dreamt of, and that my family expected from me, then at least I could have the next best life.
The next best life?
Mansions, limousines, parties. Everything you could wish for. Though none of it belongs to me.
The lady called you a freeloader.
An ugly word, but maybe not so far from the truth. I move with the rich and famous, and at first glance, I live exactly the life my father always wished for me. A carefree life, easygoing. And I play the violin, which I always loved to do.
But it's not really like that.
It's empty. My life is just a shell. A show, and everyone knows it. I loved something once, and I burned for it. But now, the violin is just an accessory for practicing my real profession.
And your family?
How could I ever look them in the eyes? A failed violinist who gave up.
What does the future hold for you?
Isn't it obvious? My hands are starting to shake from alcohol. What will be left once I lose my good looks? I'll have nothing then. And so I'll put an end to it all.
You can't say things like that.
With my father's pistol, I always have it with me. It's gone! Fate won't even grant me a quick death.
Lady Westmacott did not have the right to speak to you like that.
Really? How do you know? You don't know me.
Then, did she have the right?
No, she didn't. That cynical old witch enjoys exposing the weaknesses of others, although we all have them. She as well. She lusts for recognition and acts as though it weren't so disgraceful. She rejects prizes and awards with snide remarks, but she's angry when others receive them. She needs to know that she's better than others.
You seem to know her quite well.
I've only met her once or twice, but I know her son and some of her friends. One friend of hers supported me for a long time. No one is brave enough to say it to her face, but everyone hates her.
Her or her success? Don't you think you can still make it?
No. It's too late now. The real question is, did I give up too quickly back then?
I don't know.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, Mr. Kreutzer. I don't want to leave him alone with his dark thoughts, but I don't have time to care for him either. I don't want to leave him alone.
Oh merde, je pensais qu'on revenait par l'intérieur au milieu. Bon bah tant pis.
He's sweating profusely, burst capillaries and a sweet odor. I hope the crew doesn't take the captain for a role model, and that they stay sober for the rest of the trip. He's sweat. I hope. Ok, il est temps d'avancer. The lady is not a... I shouldn't talk. The silhouette of New York and of a looks pretty. No use worrying about him.
Ok, ça se dit toujours la même chose. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un en bas? S'il y a personne, on va remonter. Et du coup, alors je fais le tour depuis tout à l'heure, mais puis des fois c'est en interagissant avec certains personnages ou certains éléments du décor, ça permet de débloquer d'autres choses, comme là on a vu en allant dans la salle principale et en discutant avec les uns et les autres. On a créé enfin on a provoqué ou créé, je sais pas, mais peut-être directement ou indirectement on a créé une tension et ça a permis que plusieurs personnages quittent la pièce et on a pu discuter avec chacun, en apprendre un petit peu plus sur chacun, sauf le capitaine à qui on n'a pas parlé par exemple. Mais voilà, ça fait avancer comme ça, et puis après on peut se dire que quelqu'un aurait pu descendre par exemple. Là il n'y a rien d'autre à faire, donc on va remonter. On voit qu'on peut pas aller à l'infirmerie. Ça nous propose pas de toquer, d'entrer voir le toubib, mais en même temps le toubib il avait l'air assez stressé et occupé. Bon, il était pas en pleine autopsie, il y avait personne sur son... parce qu'il avait une table, je sais pas si c'est une table d'autopsie ou non, mais enfin si... On peut le savoir, mais pour l'instant il y avait personne sur sa table, alors sa table qui peut servir de table d'autopsie si jamais il y avait le besoin, ou table pour ausculter aussi ses patients, parce qu'à la base c'est une infirmerie. Lynch on lui a parlé. On va aller voir tiens s'il y a quelqu'un sur l'avant du bateau, et s'il y a personne on remontera en haut, parce que voilà c'est ce que je voulais dire juste avant. Là l'objectif c'était de récupérer la... Ah bah il y a eux, ouais. La pince en bois que l'on a récupérée au niveau du bûcher, quoi.
But that doesn't mean he won't recognize me now. No, I won't talk to them as long as I can avoid it.
Oh bah tu veux pas leur parler? Bah c'est tragique, hein. Moi j'avais envie de leur parler, mince. Donc ouais, l'objectif c'était de récupérer la pince. La pince en bois, tout simplement pour faire quoi? Pour la prendre avec la pièce, je dirais, et exercer une pression pour ouvrir la grille d'aération. Mais après, je comprends pas trop. Enfin, ça va nous être utile, mais on se dit c'est une petite pince en bois, c'est pas forcément solide, et tu vas réussir à exercer assez de pression pour ouvrir la grille sans casser la pince. Donc ça m'étonne un petit peu, mais bon, en soi, c'est pas grave, quoi. C'est pas normal, c'est un petit détail, quoi. C'est pas... Ça aurait été une pince en fer ou quelque chose de ce style, un petit peu plus dur, ouais. Le bois c'est dur, on est d'accord, mais ça peut être assez fragile aussi.
That's it. I can jam the penny in and make an improvised screwdriver.
Ça a l'air solide. Une vraie experte du cambriolage, moi je vous le dis. Hein.
That's it. I just hope that this is the right shaft. Here goes nothing.
Ah, Jakob Aust. I finally got you. I'll have them arrest you and justice will be done.
Can I be of assistance, madam?
Yes, you can get out of the way.
Shall I tidy up, madam?
No, it's time to celebrate.
Excellent. The coast is clear. I'd prefer to lock the door. Someone could come in and catch me at any moment. But it's important not to leave a trace. Inch absolutely cannot find out about us. I must hurry. Impressive. for a quick drink on the go? A suitable glass for every occasion. But most of them look more or less unused. The Baroness probably disregards style and etiquette when she's drinking alone, and just uses the same glass. What's that? A small leather strap. Aha!
Ah d'accord.
Nefertiti, Guernica, A.D., Buonarroti's Adam. This could be a memory aid for the Baroness. And it would explain how Inch discovered the combination. I'm going to copy the hints. As I see it, I have to decipher these clues to find 3 of the symbols. Then I can guess the 4th. Well, Nefertiti was an Egyptian queen. The monogram and the 2 other clues aren't much help. I've copied the hints into my diary. Maybe someone on board can help me to figure out at least 3 of the 4 symbols. I've copied the... I'd put money on the Eye of the Sphinx being behind this door. I don't think anyone would bet against me. The door is locked. I have to find the right combination to get in. To me, it looks like a combination lock. A good one, too. The door only opens when the right symbols are in place. I've copied... Maybe someone on... There are 8 symbols per cylinder.
Ah mince, j'ai...
That means more than 4,000 possible combinations.
En 4... Oh ouais.
If only I knew 3 of the 4 symbols, I could easily guess the last. But whilst I don't know at least 3 of them, I can't go any further. Gin, whiskey, liqueur, sherry, vodka, brandy, and champagne. Every bottle is at least half empty. I wonder what the Baroness is running away from. Loneliness, disappointment, grief.
Un peu de tout peut-être.
Some napkins and towels. Nothing I can use. Corkscrew, bottle opener, coaster. I can't use any of these. It seems like she was searching for a specific photo, and that she actually found it. Jakob Aust. Now I've got you, she said. We got our hands on the list of passengers, but I don't recognize the name. Hundreds of black and white photos, many of them tinted. From the 20s and 30s, I guess. Ugh, I don't have time to deal with them. The Baroness wrote something down and took the slip of paper with her. It's probably not important. The mannequin could probably wear my clothes. It'd disappear under the Baroness's clothes, though.
C'est pas méchant, c'est pas gentil ça.
Child, I often stood in front of shop windows and tried to stand as still as the mannequins. When I got bored, I claimed that one of the mannequins had blinked and declared myself the winner. Not even Adil would believe that this painting was an original. He was interested in art when we first met, but for him it was always about the content, not the technique. I had my work cut out teaching him to concentrate on the stroke, the material, and the signature of the artist. It's the only way to distinguish an original from a fake. I don't care who painted it as long as it speaks to me, he said. A perspective that, as an art thief, I can't share, but it's charming nonetheless. I'm sure that the eye is in the Baroness's luggage. I'm here to steal one of the most valuable jewels in the world, not to swipe the contents of handbags. Luckily, I don't have to go through all these suitcases. Inch has been traveling with this woman through Europe for months. I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. No, I'd better leave the cabin as I entered it. Somebody might see me if I go out through the door.
Ok.
That was close. Maybe it was a steward who checked whether everything was ready for the Baroness's nightly rest. Whoever it was, I should leave as fast as possible before someone comes back. What on earth is going on here? I don't like that. Is someone else after the eye as well? But even if that is the case, what does the audio tape have to do with it? I can't let it get to me. I have a job to do.
Ok. Faire glisser la chaise, ça fait du bruit, pourquoi pas juste la soulever et la placer? Et j'ai pas compris pourquoi le drap c'était enfin ouais, le bout de drap c'était pas rembobiné mais remis en haut pour ne pas être visible. Je sais pas, c'était bizarre. C'est elle qui l'a balancé dans la précipitation? Peu importe, vous me direz, mais je passe un petit détail. Dommage qu'on puisse pas refermer la trappe parce que là ça fait une trappe ouverte, quelqu'un vient là, il le voit, donc si on pouvait la fermer sans forcément revisser, mais juste la fermer.
Professor Lucien could certainly tell me everything there is to know about Nefertiti, but he might also realize that I was in his museum in London. I'd better not talk to him. Professor Lucien, but he...
Ok.
He's sweating profusely.
On me dit la même chose.
And a sweet odor. I hope the crew doesn't take the captain. Hello, Captain DeCanti.
Miss Meyers, how nice to see you. You look beautiful. We missed you at dinner.
I was in my cabin. I didn't feel very well.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better.
Buonarroti. That sounds Italian, doesn't it?
Ha! You can say that again. Buonarroti is the name of the greatest artist of all time. Michelangelo Buonarroti, who most people only know by his first name. Just imagine, one man, an Italian, achieves perfection in all three movements of graphic arts. His David is the most famous statue in the world. As an architect, he was a genius. He built parts of St. Peter's Basilica.
And as a painter, Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
The creation of Adam. The spark of life leaps from God to Adam. One of the most famous paintings in the world.
Yes, it is. The Sistine Chapel, Apostolic Palace, Vatican City. I don't know any animals associated with them.
Animals?
Oh, it's a game I used to play. My father posed me a riddle, and I have to guess an animal.
And Buonarroti's Adam was the hint? Maybe he meant Rome. According to legend, the founders of the city, Romulus and Remus, were raised by a she-wolf.
No, that's too vague. Does Vatican City have an animal on its coat of arms?
No.
And the Pope?
Every pope has his own emblem, but the new one doesn't have an animal.
You don't seem to like the new Pope.
It's too early to say. But who's fit to hold a candle to John the 23rd? Il Papa Buono, as we used to call him. The good Pope.
He just died recently. What was his heraldic animal?
He was a lion, and so was his heraldic animal.
For a Catholic, Buonarroti's Adam could be a mnemonic for the lion. Pope John XXIII was elected in the Sistine Chapel like every other pope. A work of art hints at a coat of arms with a lion on it. Maybe. I'll make a note of lion. Captain de Conti?
Yes?
Do you have any idea what the monogram AD might stand for?
AD. There was an Admiral de la Celle in the Navy who always signed AD because he didn't want anyone to know that his first name was...
Oh, it couldn't have anything to do with him.
Well, no. I have no idea then.
Guernica, does that mean anything to you?
Not a harbor that I've ever docked at.
Ah, that's too bad. Do you know Nefertiti?
Is she a Greek queen?
No. She...
Ouais, chez nous. On se
Never
déconne.
mind. Is it true that you're a war hero?
In 2 world wars. That tells you how old I must be.
You're as old as you feel.
Oh God, I hope not.
Aren't you feeling well?
You shouldn't burden your pretty little head with the dark thoughts of an old man, my dear.
If you don't feel well, maybe you should take it easy.
I'm afraid if I take it easy, it'll kill me.
You seem to be a pessimist.
Fatty liver, asthma, gallstones, jaundice, gout, shingles, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, circulatory trouble, knee problems, pulmonary embolism, gastritis, migraine, neuralgia, tinnitus, rheumatism, pleurisy, thrombosis, and constipation. Those are what's been diagnosed so far. My body is a curse.
Oh,
Oh,
I
la
didn't mean
vache.
to... I'm sorry.
Forgive an old man. I didn't mean to shock you.
You're still the captain of this beautiful ship.
They couldn't just get rid of me, so they stuck me somewhere where I can't make trouble anymore.
Don't say that.
This ship runs fine without me. The crew knows what to do. They don't need me. They don't want me.
Captain!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm burdening you with all of this. Forgive me, eh? I'd like to rest for a while. Soon enough, it'll be time to head back to the coalface.
Captain de Conti?
Yes?
Lovely concert, wasn't it?
You only heard the end. It was really wonderful.
All the more curious that Lady Westmacott embarrassed Mr. Kreutzer like that, don't you think?
I have no idea what got into her. They say she's a difficult person, but maybe it's the privilege of famous people to be a bit strange from time to time. When I was still a young sailor, Enrico Caruso was a passenger on our ship, and he...
I think she's fascinating. She's achieved so much, and all by herself.
Lady Westmacott, oh yes, that's true. The most successful writer in the world.
Do you know any more about her?
Everything. I'm her biggest fan. What do you want to know?
Why did she want to become a writer?
In interviews, she always mentions her French tutor, who encouraged her to write when she was a child. After some poems and short stories, she began to write detective novels with great success. The rest is history. The experts are arguing whether she or Shakespeare has sold more books.
Although she doesn't receive the same deference.
That's true. but her books are much more innovative and extraordinary than people generally give her credit for.
Where is she from? Who were her parents?
Her father was a wealthy British salesman. Her mother died in childbirth. She had an outstanding education, but was a lonely child, they say. Her father was away on business most of the time.
I know how she feels. For many years, my father's career was also more important than me.
Don't say that, my child. Your father paid for the life you now live.
Did Lady Westmacott's father marry again?
Yes, a woman 15 years his junior. She didn't really care for the child. She was something of a high society lady. She made the headlines with her antics more often than the family would have liked.
And what does an elderly lady like her want in Egypt? Do you know what the lady wants to do in Cairo?
I couldn't really say. She was there many times with her husband, an archaeologist. He died a long time ago.
I heard something about a reception at the Egyptian Museum.
Yes, for the eyes of the Sphinx. Or rather, for the eye. But I don't think she'd go to Cairo just for that. She usually stays away from official events. Didn't participate in the literary scene either. Always stayed as far away as possible from high society. Probably because of her stepmother.
I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
I hear you're well versed in Egyptian history, Lady Westmacott. Can you tell me anything about Nefertiti?
A queen. The main wife of Akhenaten.
Are there any famous works of art depicting her?
Oh yes, the bust of Nefertiti. One of the most beautiful ancient Egyptian sculptures. I saw it years ago in London.
So the bust is located in England?
No, it was discovered in 1912 in Tel El Amarna by a German archaeologist and brought to Germany. I'm not sure where it is today. Ask the Baroness. She's the expert on museums here.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Why are you asking me all these strange questions?
I'm curious. How shall I learn if I don't ask?
Pick up a book.
May I take my leave?
You may.
I don't know why, but people just seem to open up to me. Is that a blessing or a curse?
Parce que t'es une jeune fille belle et insouciante, donc forcément.
Especially if it could have been a great life.
Et pour eux, t'es sûrement inoffensif.
I'll leave him alone with his thoughts. I'll leave.
Ok.
The Baroness seems to have a reason to celebrate. She's downing one glass of champagne after another. The less I have to do with her, the better. Best if she doesn't even remember that I exist. Although, based on her alcohol consumption, I don't really think I have to worry about that.
Ah ouais, mais on peut pas lui parler?
I'll leave him alone with his thoughts.
Alors, donc le compartiment verrouillé, donc c'est le compartiment de la El Ballon Van Trebitz, pardon. La porte du compartiment du professeur Lucien a été verrouillée de l'extérieur. Ah non, ok. Oui, en intérieur. Et par qui? Ah merde, c'est même pas de... Oh bah pardon. Bah... Ok. Coup de feu, ok. Ah mais du coup je ne spoil les trucs, bah après on a avancé donc Merde. Oh, c'est pas grave, j'ai utilisé des points, c'est pas grave.
Lady Westmacott,
Yes?
I've got a puzzle for you.
Why do you always bombard me with strange questions? I can't imagine why.
Oh, come on. You're the queen of mysteries.
Well, what is it then?
A monogram. A capital A with a small d on the bottom. Who does it belong to?
Someone on the ship?
No one on the ship.
I don't know. Whose is it?
I don't know either.
It doesn't make much sense to ask a riddle if you don't know the answer. Wouldn't you agree?
Actually, I'd say that it doesn't make sense to ask someone a riddle if you do know the answer.
Touché.
May I take my leave?
You may.
Allez, on se casse.
It seems like Dr. Gebhardt was able to wrestle himself away from his work, but he still doesn't seem to be very relaxed. Quite the opposite. And why won't he go to the saloon? Dr. Gebhardt, getting some fresh air?
Oh, you could say that.
I was talking to the captain. He didn't look well. Is he sick?
I am sure you will understand that I cannot discuss the medical history of one of my patients with you.
Why? Do you think I'm too stupid?
I didn't mean that. It is a matter of confidentiality.
I asked whether the captain is ill and you called him one of my patients. Haven't you already answered my question?
What do you want?
Do you know the Egyptian queen Nefertiti?
Yes. There is a famous bust of her.
Really? Tell me more.
No, I am sorry. I do not have time for that.
Do you know what the monogram AD stands for?
What?
A capital A with a small d
Il avait
below
pas le
it.
temps pour les
Yes,
questions
I
d'avant.
do. Will you leave me alone if I tell you what it means?
You know.
It is not just any monogram. It is the first. Albrecht Dürer, a German artist, signed all his works with it. He was the first artist to sign all of his work with a monogram. It was not common to do so before then.
Are you sure?
His wooden engravings were, and still are, printed billions of times in Germany.
Billions of times. You're exaggerating.
Not at all. His work appears on German marks.
And what?
That's enough. I told you what you wanted to know. Please, leave me alone now.
Dr. Gebhardt?
Yes?
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Tu peux
Now
lui
listen, young lady, I do not know what they told you, but just because I am German, I am not responsible for the crimes of my government.
Crimes? What are you talking about?
We obeyed orders, just like everybody else. Now
Tu peux
leave me
tellement faire
alone.
parler
I ought to be
celui.
going.
Thank God.
Strange guy. I wonder what, or who, he's watching in the saloon. He seems like he's waiting for something, and he's growing more nervous by the minute. The silhouette of New York. Look. Adil,
In the shower.
I found the secret compartment.
Oh, brilliant! And the jewel?
I'm working on it. Adil,
Yes?
I almost got caught in the Baroness's cabin.
What happened?
I don't know. A man came in and I just had time to hide under the bed
Maybe it was a steward who came to clean the cabin?
and turn on a tape recorder in the cupboard.
Huh. Maybe it was Inch. He wanted some music?
There was nothing on the tape. It was playing, but I didn't hear anything. Something is rotten here.
Don't bother your pretty little head about it. Swap the eye and hurry back. I've got a surprise for you.
I don't think your surprise will really surprise me. The secret compartment is secured with a combination lock.
Is there any way in?
Not without leaving evidence. I need the combination.
Huh. Are there any Hints?
A memory aid consisting of several works of art. There are animals on the log.
The works of art might hint at specific animals.
You don't say, genius. I've already got that far. About the combination,
Yes.
does Nefertiti mean anything to you?
An Egyptian queen?
That's it?
I didn't have an affair with her, if that's what you mean. She's not my type, and she's been dead for thousands of years.
Well then, I'll take your word for it. Guernica. Sounds Spanish, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a city in the Basque region.
Does it have a heraldic animal? Or maybe the region has one?
I don't know. I've never been there. I just know it because the city was bombed by the Nazis during the Spanish Civil War.
Nazis? In the Spanish Civil War?
Well, not officially, of course. At the request of General Franco, his friends from Germany reduced a defenseless city to ashes and rubble. Picasso immortalized the bombing in his famous painting.
Really? Is it on display in Spain?
Silly. As long as Franco is in charge, he won't allow that.
Where is it?
Oh, no idea. Paris, maybe? Picasso lived there for a long time.
Maybe doesn't help me much. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
Ok.
I'll humor the king of long showers. I don't know what I'd ask him anyway. I'll humor the... The doctor is upstairs. He probably locked the door. Yes. Maybe the art magazine will help me with the symbols.
Ok, donc c'est pour ça qu'on pouvait interagir, toujours interagir avec.
Indeed. An article about the different works of art and how they survived the Second World War. And there's also a picture of the bust of Nefertiti. The unique Egyptian work of art was 1913. Permission to export to Germany. Second World War. Safe at the Reich Bank. Then a bunker. And then a salt mine. Prevented from shipping the bust to the United States. Back in Berlin since 1956. Very glad, blah, blah, blah. Soon in the Egyptian Museum of Berlin and hopefully someday in a reunified Berlin on the Museum Island. Okay, so the bust of Nefertiti is located in Berlin. And which animal is on the city's coat of arms? The Berlin bear. I just need one more animal. The bust of Nefertiti is in Berlin. Berlin bear. That works.
Et voilà. Maintenant on peut plus interagir avec, donc c'est parfait. On en a fini ici. Comment on va trouver le dernier animal, je ne sais pas. On peut aller parler par exemple à l'artiste qui a beaucoup voyagé, donc qui saura peut-être des choses.
I'll have to use my private entrance via the ventilation shaft. If someone spots me going into the Baroness's cabin, I'd have rather a lot to explain. I'll have to use my private... If some...
Bah ça dépend, tu peux dire que tu t'es inquiété pour la petite baronne. Ah bah oui, c'est une alcoolique chronique alors. Non mais ouais, tu peux dire qu'elle avait forcé sur le champagne et que tu t'inquiétais pour elle quoi. Ça passe à chaque fois ce genre d'excuses. Il est rendu où le musicien à la noix là? On est peut-être à l'arrière du navire, tiens. On va repasser par là, tiens. Il est pas en bas, il est pas à l'intérieur, ok. Bon, elle, on peut pas lui parler, c'est dommage, parce qu'elle est sous, alors je me dis, ce serait pas souvenir de Lady Meyers, mais bon, sait-on jamais, puis de toute façon, le jeu ne permet pas de lui parler, alors on n'a pas lui parler, hein, tout simplement. Et là, on va aller à l'avant du bateau. où il y avait le petit couple, enfin le petit couple, ils sont peut-être pas en couple, mais ils font trop petit couple mignon et tout, alors. Je sais pas où il est passé le musicien. Hein. Bon, on va retourner au niveau de la cabine du bateau.
It doesn't make sense whilst I don't know at least 3 of the animal symbols, and I'm not going
What?
to find the solution in there.
Ok. Bah merde. Je peux pas parler à la baronne, je peux pas parler au couple à l'avant du bateau. L'inspecteur il est dans sa cabine, je pense, on peut pas lui parler. L'infirmier, enfin le doc, on peut plus lui parler. Lady, on peut pas lui parler. Le capitaine, on n'a rien d'autre à lui demander. Mais je vais essayer de reparler avec le capitaine ou. Ah ouais, je vais voir si je peux reparler. Je vais reparler avec
Dr.
tous comme ça.
Gebhardt?
Yes?
Have you ever heard of a Picasso?
Ouais, mais-
That's enough. I am saying this as politely as I can. Please leave me alone now. We can discuss these unimportant things tomorrow, if it is really necessary.
I ought to be going.
Thank God.
Bon. Ouais, je sais pas où est passé le musicien, je sais pas. Alors, alors après on va refaire le tour. On va parler de Picasso au capitaine Di Conti.
Captain de Conti,
Conti,
Yes.
pardon.
do you know Albrecht Dürer?
Yes, an artist. Not bad. But he has his weaknesses as well.
For example?
For one, he wasn't Italian.
That's a pity.
You can say that again. At least he lived in Italy for a while.
What else can you tell me about him?
I once overheard an argument on board between a German and a Spaniard about who elevated the woodcut to an art form, Albrecht Dürer or Alberto Durero. Eventually, they realized they were talking about the same man. Ha!
Albrecht Dürer is called Alberto Durero in Spain?
That's right. Don't ask me why.
I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
I'll leave him alone with his thoughts. I'll leave him.
Ok. Oh, la baronne, on pourra jamais lui parler, ok. Bon, est-ce que toi on peut te parler une dernière fois?
Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
Yes.
It must be exciting to meet all the world's famous and powerful people.
I stay away as far as possible from high society. Too shallow. Too boring.
But some of them must be exciting. Have you ever met Picasso?
They told him he's a genius so often that he actually started to believe it himself.
But his paintings are impressive. Guernica, for example.
Well, it certainly is big. I have to give him that.
Didn't he have to flee from Spain?
Yes, from the fascists, but not just him. Many of his paintings as well. If I remember correctly, Guernica is currently on display in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. He bequeathed it to a future Spanish republic.
And until then it stays in New York?
Yes, it's been there for years now.
Have you ever been to New York?
For the love of God, what would I do there? We have the original York in England. That's quite enough for me.
So, you don't know the heraldic animal of New York?
No, probably an eagle. It's all eagles over there.
Are you interested in art?
Not really. I'm more interested in real life, in people.
So, you don't know Albrecht Dürer?
Just because I'm not interested in art doesn't mean that I'm ignorant.
What can you tell me about him?
Books, my dear, books. In them, you'll find the answers to all your questions, even the most foolish ones.
I bet you don't know anything about him, and you just want to cover it up.
Ah, you want to appeal to my honor. Too obvious, I'm afraid.
May I take my leave?
You may.
Dun, dun, dun.
Captain DeConti,
Yes?
an old seaman like you must surely have been to New York, right?
Aye, aye. My usual territory is the Mediterranean, but I've crossed the Atlantic many times. It's always a great moment when the Statue of Liberty appears on the horizon.
You wouldn't happen to know the heraldic animal of New York.
No. Maybe an eagle?
I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'll leave him alone. The lady is not a fan of I shouldn't talk to her unless I have some...
Ok, donc c'est ce qu'elle a déjà dit tout à l'heure, c'est pour ça que j'ai skippé la conversation pour gagner quelques secondes. Donc là je pense qu'on a tous les indices, hein. L'ours, l'aigle et puis l'autre animal qui est... je sais plus mais elle a dû le noter quelque part, donc le jeu nous le dira et on pourra le retrouver dans notre carnet par exemple. Mais je pense que cette fois si on essaye de redescendre par la grille par la grille d'aération, c'est ira. Alors après pour l'aigle ce n'est pas sûr, mais bon on a deux personnes qui nous disent probablement l'aigle. Elles ne sont absolument pas sûres, c'est vrai, mais c'est un indice.
It doesn't make...
Ok, donc ce n'est pas un indice. Ouais mais là je sais pas à qui d'autre je peux parler quoi. Je vais pas parler au Toubib, à chaque fois il nous renvoie chier, donc et on l'a déjà tellement saoulé. Adil par exemple, notre petit ami, ça se trouve il le saura. Donc on va retourner dans notre cabine.
Adil,
Yes?
about the combination.
Yes.
Guernica hangs in New York.
Okay.
Do you know what the heraldic animal of New York is?
An eagle? It's all eagles over there.
That's the second time I've heard that. But no, it can't be an eagle. Alberto Durero.
What about him?
What's his most famous work?
Hard to say. He did a lot. He was a pioneer of woodcuts and printmaking.
The Baroness left his monogram as a hint, not the name of one of his artworks. So there must be a painting that everyone associates with him.
Not to my knowledge. Although he did have a favorite motif.
And that was...
Himself. He made quite a few self-portraits.
That's it. The artist is the art.
Sounds logical. His most famous self-portrait is in the Prado in Madrid. I saw it with my own eyes 2 years ago.
Does Madrid have something like a heraldic animal?
Sure, it's a bear. It's on the coat of arms and all over the city.
A bear again? Like in Berlin?
Why not? The same numbers appear more than once on normal combination locks.
That's true. The bear then. That's it! 3 animals are all I need. I can guess the 4th. But I could try to find the 4th symbol anyway, just to be sure. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
Merde.
Okay. The coat of arms of New York City is on the poster. There's the obligatory eagle. That can't be it, since there's no eagle on the lock. But look
d'accord.
here. How cute. There are 2 beavers posing on the New York City emblem. Guernica equals New York equals beaver. All 4 symbols decoded. Gosh, I'm good. Now, I need to get back to the Baroness's cabin. The jewel is waiting for me.
Ah, bah regardez, ça c'est cool. Vous avez trouvé les 4 symboles de niveau, je sais tout. Donc ça c'est cool parce que elle nous le dit. On aurait pu très bien se dire, et certains joueuses et joueurs peuvent se le dire ou se le sont dit, et j'aurais pu faire pareil aussi, ça m'a traversé l'esprit, mais c'est plus quand elle a dit je peux peut-être trouver tous les indices pour être sûr, je me suis dit bon on va essayer, on va voir, et du coup on peut, vu qu'on a trouvé les 3 premiers indices, on aurait pu très bien aller mettre les 3 premiers et faire le 4e indice, enfin symbole pardon, un par un en aléatoire, et on aurait forcément trouvé en 8 combinaisons, je crois, elle disait tout à l'heure, mais là ça permet d'être sûr, et en plus de ça vous décrochez un trophée, donc c'est cool, et ça comptabilise peut-être aussi pour les trophées que je vous disais, pour chaque chapitre pardon, vous avez 3 trophées par rapport à votre côté investigateur, enquêteur, où vous devez trouver tous les indices, ce genre de choses, je crois que c'est lié à ça. Et bien peut-être que là on aura par exemple un trophée, alors un trophée sûr je crois que oui, mais on aura peut-être le trophée de bon détective, ou le 3e trophée je sais plus, en fonction de si on a tout trouvé ou non, donc ça peut être utile, et en l'occurrence bah là c'est bien qu'on l'ait trouvé, on a débloqué déjà un premier trophée grâce à ça, grâce au fait qu'on ait trouvé les 4 animaux liés à la serrure du coffre, mais ça va peut-être nous permettre de décrocher un trophée ou 2 à la fin du chapitre. Donc c'est une bonne chose, c'est plutôt pas mal. Donc 2 ours, un castor, et le premier j'ai perdu, je sais plus ce que c'est le premier, mais bon le jeu va nous le redire de toute façon.
Oh my god. Baroness von Tribbets? Are you okay? Hello? Baroness? Hello?
On peut pas voler le jeu, ok.
A deal.
What happened?
The Baroness. Blood everywhere.
But who?
I don't know. Inch?
That doesn't make any sense.
Don't move. Zelna, up here. We've got our shadow. How are you?
I do nothing. Me crew.
Sure you are. What are you doing here?
Just fresh air.
Sure. You just wanted to get a breath of fresh air. Zelna, look who we have here.
Well, if that's not our shadow.
And our stowaway.
Were you recently traveling via trunk?
Nothing.
He claims to be part of the crew. Just wanted to get some fresh air.
Oh, sure. And you obviously didn't attack me either, did you?
The Baroness won't open her door, sir.
Understood. Take him to the detention cell, Robert. We'll talk later, my friend.
What is? Did nothing.
Inspector Legrand thinks otherwise. Move.
But I have... Gunshot.
I know that. Get moving. Into the cell.
Ah.
Ok. Donc changement de personnage. Nous ne sommes plus avec Lady Meyers, mais nous sommes avec le petit Adil, le passager clandestin, le bad boys, le petit ami de Miss Meyer, la charmante et belle jeune fille innocente, intrépide, que tout le monde apprécie et à qui tout le monde confie tous ses secrets limite.
Hello? What happened last night?
What happened that you were walking around the ship, that you let them catch you, that you endangered the whole plan, that you endangered me?
I didn't kill anyone. They arrested me purely by coincidence. They'll have to turn me loose in Cairo. I mean, someone was killed, weren't they? I heard a shot. Why won't you answer?
I'm having a conversation that you cannot hear.
What happened last night?
The Baroness was murdered.
Did you?
No. If it were up to me, she'd have had an accident in a couple of weeks. Instead, someone shot the old bat in the heart point blank.
Are we calling it off?
No. Mr. X is ready, and as her surviving representative, I should be able to move about freely in the museum. The old hag's death doesn't change anything.
How did you get in here?
I'm more than capable of finding the entrance to a cargo hold. Indeed, it was child's play. It's not as though I had to crawl through ventilation shafts or anything so gauche.
So, what do we do now? I could escape and...
swim to Cairo.
So, I stay here and wait?
They'll arrest you in Cairo and question you about the murder. Even if they don't throw you in jail, it'll take days.
And if we find the murderer, then they'd have no reason to hold me.
Oh, I'm one step ahead of you.
Nervous? I would be if I were you.
This Zellner chap wasn't part of the plan. I don't like it.
He's groping about in the dark. Legrand is the real problem.
Still, I'm going to take him out of the picture.
Dr.
Gebhardt killed the Baroness. A clever old man, but not clever
On n'a pas eu
enough
l'occasion
to
d'échanger avec Zellner, dommage.
So you just have to tip Legrand off, and then I'm as good as free.
That's what I thought at first, but then I thought, why waste the opportunity? I put Zellner on the trail of the good doctor. He'll drive Gebhardt into a corner, and when he lashes out in desperation, he might hit our Swiss friend. Maybe even Legrand, if we're really lucky.
You can't do that. The old fella's just doing his job.
And so am I.
Inch. Enough blood has been shed. Inch. No more deaths. Damn! I have to get out of here and warn Constable Zellner. I guess this cage is some kind of detention cell for the crew. It's not the most impregnable prison in the world, but it's still a problem.
Ok. Bah, de deux, tu peux pas le faire plusieurs fois. Ouais, mais des fois, ça fait quelque chose.
Huh. Lock looks pretty modern. Needs a small key, 5 pins. I could pick it with the right tools. It's a normal lock. I bet I could pick it if I had a wire or something like that. Like everything else on this ship, the bars and hinges are showing their age, but they're still much too strong for me to kick the door open. A very simple construction. A metal bolt connects the door to the frame. It fits perfectly in the hinge. I can't pull it out, and my fingers are too fat to push it out from the bottom.
Ah non, on l'a déjà fait. Mais par contre, ça nous montre qu'on a potentiellement besoin d'un outil pour le faire.
They're really spoiling me with this cup of metallic-tasting water. If I'm really lucky, they'll toss me a few crumbs of bread. I didn't sleep a wink last night. All I could think of was Alex. It's terrible not knowing what happened. The blanket got caught on the nail. A board and a nail. A relatively large steel nail. I pulled it out of the board.
Ok.
I've seen movies in which the prisoners called their guards like this, but it wouldn't help. I can't explain the situation to the Bobby without endangering the whole plan. I've seen movies, but it would... If I were able to hammer the nail flat, it'd probably fit in the keyhole. But I'd need a hammer and anvil for that. The cup won't do.
Ok.
I doubt that will work. Yep, the nail is much too thick to fit in the keyhole.
Ok.
I think it's working. Ha! One down. I'll hang it back on the frame, and if I'm lucky, no one will notice my escape.
Ok.
Fire still poses a great threat to ships. There are fire alarms, extinguishers, and hoses everywhere nowadays. These hoses are pretty versatile. They'll do at a pinch if you can't smuggle climbing ropes into the building you're planning to rob. As soon as Constable Zellner and Inspector Legrand are out of danger, I'll slip back into the cell. They'll arrest the good doctor, and hopefully they'll turn a blind eye to a poor stowaway. I assume that Deputy Oliver is still standing guard. He inspected the cargo hold this morning. I can't use this exit as long as the deputy's sitting by the door. I have to find another way.
Ok.
Before I went to London to become Inch's protege, Alex and I drove through the French Riviera in this convertible. It was a wonderful week, and on the cliffs near Toulon, I asked her to marry me. But this is no time for reminiscing. There's nothing in the car that might help me. Alex is playing her role as Patricia Mayers, and she can't keep anything suspicious with her.
Ok. Ce qui est bien, c'est qu'on apprend des petites choses. Alors, ça n'apporte rien à l'histoire et pour résoudre les enquêtes et tout ça, hein, dans le jeu, on est bien d'accord. Mais je trouve que c'est plutôt sympa malgré tout.
Huh. A ring set into the floor. You could attach ropes or chains to it. It's set into the floor to keep people from tripping over it. What's that up there? A grate. Sunlight's shining through it. And above it, a bent pipe. This could be my way out. The bars are welded at 4 points, and unfortunately they're not all as rusty as this one.
Ça servira à rien. Je pense que si c'est soudé.
A good height for attaching something to the hook. A good height for... What's this? Whoa, heavy. Everything's a bit bigger and heavier on a ship, pulleys included. And now? Huh. A ring set into the floor. You could attach ropes or chains to it. It's set into the floor to keep people from tripping over it. I don't think that was the solution to the puzzle.
Ah oui, la poulie tu vas la mettre en bas dans le sol. Et tu vas mettre la corde entre la poulie et puis la... What? Ah voilà, c'est ce que je voulais faire.
A good height for attaching something to...
Merde. On va fouiller le reste de la pièce déjà, voir si on a d'autres choses.
I'm sure the crane still works. I don't have time to play around. I attached the pulley to the ring. You could hang a car from it, if the ship were upside down. Here goes nothing.
Ok. Fallait bien fixer au sol quand même.
I expected. I hope no one noticed. With luck, I'll be able to warn the others about the doctor before it's too late. I tied the hose to the hook. I tied the hose. I tied the hose.
Ok, on peut rien faire d'autre.
I could do this all day. I tied the hose.
Elle a dit que pourrait faire ça toute la journée, alors je le fais. Je le fais toute la journée. Tu fais trop de bruit. Je refais ça. Ça sert à rien, mais j'avais juste envie de jouer. Donc désolé, j'ai fait zouzou avec les boutons et du coup c'est content. Ah sorry, ah, ça fait du bien de faire un peu de con parfois et de faire du bruit surtout pour attirer les enquêteurs et toi notre trace.
Hey, you all right? That bastard didn't inject the fatal dose. You'll be back on your feet soon enough.
But...
Better take it easy while I... Oh no! I'll be right back.
Bien la petite musique là.
Where are you?
No! Why can't you just leave me alone?
Elle a essayé de nous tuer quand même hein.
Stay there.
Just relax.
Why can't you just leave me alone? It is always the same old story.
What old stories?
I am a decent man. Why are you torturing me? I loved her. She betrayed me. It was her fault. I have blood on my hands because of her.
Are you talking about the Baroness?
She She was her sister. I loved her. With all my heart. They were Jewish, you know? But I didn't care about that. I hid them when it became dangerous for them. I looked after them. I brought them food. I was a party member. And still, I hid her and her whole family.
You risked your life for a woman you loved. And 30 years later, you murder her sister?
I saw her swollen belly. I was so angry. He was one of them, you know? They just used me. I hid them, brought them food, and in return they laughed about me behind my back.
What did you do?
There are Jews hiding in the basement of the Waldhof. Armed Jews. We have to burn them out. And that's what they did.
L'enfoiré.
I had never met her. Back in East Prussia, she was the older sister, the smart sister. She studied art history in New York. Tried to get her family out of East Prussia, but I was able to prevent that.
You say you loved her, and yet you wanted to deny her and her family a safe life.
They were safe. I protected them. It was for their sake that I joined the party. I had contacts. I wrapped them in my protective embrace.
You didn't let her escape because you wanted to keep her close to you.
She sent photos to her sister before the war. She must have recognized me yesterday in Venice. I certainly recognized her.
The Baroness was searching through her photos. That's true.
She couldn't get me during the war. And after the war, I disappeared.
Ok, donc c'était lui l'assassin dont on parlait à un moment du jeu. Ok. C'est bien, on a beaucoup d'infos, ça c'est cool.
There she was. About to ruin everything.
So, she had to die.
I didn't want that. But she gave me no choice. Why did she have to stir up old ghosts?
Ce qui est bien, c'est qu'en refaisant cette partie du jeu avec d'autres personnages, d'un autre point de vue, on comprend ce qui s'est passé et on comprend le pourquoi du comment.
He can't bear his false, hollow life anymore.
Who are you? What do you want?
A man who understands etiquette and honor, and yet is nothing but a coward himself, who, because of wounded vanity, burdens himself with immense guilt.
Don't come any closer.
The Baroness held a mirror up to you, didn't she, Doctor? And you hated what you saw there, so you smashed the mirror. But the sins of the past are catching up with you now, aren't they?
No.
A skull with empty eyes full of fear.
Stop it.
Oh, dear, you really know how to dampen the mood. I almost had him. And you? Aren't you supposed to follow orders? Are you not here to assist me?
I won't.
That wasn't a question.
I don't want any dead bodies. But I don't understand why you're doing this.
You don't have to. Watch and learn.
No!
No. What is it then? You wanted to jump anyway, or you should at least.
Inch?
I'm just lending a friendly hand. He's a coward. He needs a bit of motivation. Come on now, chop, jump.
You are the Baroness's butler, aren't you? I did not want to kill your mistress.
Oh, nonsense. Forgiven and forgotten, if you don't mind my asking.
There must be another solution.
Why are you doing this?
Nothing personal. Well, that's not entirely true. You're a miserable excuse for a human being, aren't you? But mainly, you're a means to an end. Your death will get Inspector Legrand off our backs.
The Inspector? What do I have to do with him?
Your letter. The one in which you confess to being the Raven and to killing the Baroness because she saw through your ruse.
That's absurd.
Indeed it is. But people will believe almost anything if it suits them. The press will love it. Bold Inspector Legrand saves the day again. Interviews, medals, urgent telegrams from the capital. Our dear friend won't be able to escape the limelight. And by the time the commotion has ended, I'll be long gone.
You can't kill him.
Why not? He's a bastard, his death will help us, and he's a witness. If we let him go, we'll both go to jail.
All the same, we're not gonna kill him. You got us into this situation, and as long as I'm alive, I won't let anyone be killed in my presence.
No.
I have to do the dirty work for you in the museum, so you won't be shooting me, or him.
Very well, you win.
What?
Oh, never speak to me like that again. Do you understand? I need you to steal the eye, but one day I could be overwhelmed by a feeling of hatred.
La façon dont le bébé tombe dans l'eau, c'est assez... C'est mal fait.
I could do than simply shoot you. I suggest you go back to your cell. You need to be fit for Cairo. I still have a confession to write.
Ok, pendant le chargement, on va regarder. Alors, témoin, vous avez assisté à la mort du docteur Gabbard. Ça se trouve, on pouvait pas l'éviter. Oh, pardon, j'espère qu'on a rien loupé. Je pense pas qu'on ait loupé grand chose.
Abandon the whole plan and go back to Europe. What if something goes wrong and Legrand catches on? I couldn't bear it if something happened to her. I can't afford to slip up.
Mr. Jamal, I'm glad you could make it.
Let's get this over with.
Still angry on account of the good doctor?
You disgust me.
You'll be rid of me in less than 2 hours, and I of you.
Will there be more deaths here in the museum?
If you follow my instructions, no.
If people are in danger, I'll call the whole thing off.
I don't kill for fun, only when it's necessary.
Is it ever really necessary?
Sometimes. Revenge, for example, when one has been betrayed.
Have you already met your Mr. X?
He's counting an envelope of unmarked bills as we speak. He put the blueprints under the statue of Imhotep.
Blueprints?
A sketch of the museum, not the kind you can get just anywhere. This one shows secret entrances, basements, and attic rooms that the Resistance used during the war.
That's what it was about.
Get the blueprints. There's a basement below the treasure chamber. The entrance should be marked on the blueprints. Open it and give me a sign.
And what about Legrand?
My diversion worked wonderfully. The press has laid siege to the French embassy, and Legrand won't be able to escape them. He should arrive in a few minutes with the safe, and then he'll have to answer ridiculous questions from reporters all afternoon.
That's why we're striking now.
A regrettable necessity. I would have preferred to make my grand entrance this evening at the gala. But yes, we will strike as soon as the safe is in the treasure chamber and Legrand has left.
What's the next step after the basement?
You'll find out when it's time.
But... all right then. I'll pay a visit to Imhotep and we'll meet in the basement.
Good monkey. Oh, and by the way, the museum is closed to visitors until tomorrow.
Then how...
You'll find a way.
I bet the craftsmen are nearby. If not in the museum, then somewhere around here. I bet the craftsmen are... I hope the owner doesn't come back while I'm tampering with the truck. Craftsmen aren't known for their calm, sympathetic natures. Locked. The door is closed, and I don't want to break the window. Someone might hear the sound and call the police. I bet the craftsmen are... The door is closed.
Ok.
There's a tennis ball stuck on the tow hitch. Ah, people do that to protect the hitch and their trouser legs from the grease. Got it.
Mec, il est content d'avoir volé une balle de tennis, quoi.
I have to improvise if I want to get into the museum. Oh, nothing.
Ok, on peut la refouiller.
I never imagined I'd be up to my elbows in garbage, and I still haven't found anything. Do I need an umbrella in Cairo? Or could it help me get into the museum?
Bah oui, il va te permettre de faire descendre l'échelle qui est à côté de toi, banane. Réfléchis.
A rod like that could be useful.
Ah d'accord, on trouve une tige par magie. Il a refouillé la poubelle ou pas? Ah non, dans le parapluie, pardon. Ok, bah en fait c'est moi l'abruti parce qu'il va s'en servir pour fracturer la porte de la voiture.
The door is... I could probably reach the door lock with the rod, but how's it supposed to catch hold? A thick wire frame from the umbrella.
Alors.
The tennis ball is slit open, and the inside is smeared with grease. No one will ever play tennis with this now. A thick wire frame from the umbrella. It keeps it open in the wind. I bet the crap.
Et si je fais ça? Bon, ça sert à rien, ok.
Interesting. A fire ladder. Maybe I can.
C'est ce que je voulais faire depuis le début, mais je pensais qu'on aurait.
The ladder is too high to reach from here.
On pourrait le faire avec le parapluie. Mais ça marche pas. Est-ce que là je peux prendre le balai ou? Ok, non.
Interesting. The ladder is too high. I guess they. Doesn't seem like I can pull the ladder down.
Ah non, il va falloir ouvrir la portière pour desserrer le frein à main, quoi. Bon, je pense que je loupe un truc. Non, on peut pas. On loupe un truc. Donc on va regarder aux alentours. Ou si je peux me diriger vers le musée, par exemple. Oula, il n'y a rien à faire, ok. Voilà, bon, on va aller vers l'avant.
I don't want to crawl through stinking sewers just to get into the museum. There must be another way. There's a metal grate over the drain to prevent people from tripping. I can't make out what's below. There's a metal grate over... Maybe I can fish something out of the sewer with the wire. Nothing. I can't even touch the bottom. It was worth a try.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres choses à l'extérieur? Ah, attendez.
With a bit of imagination, you could call the bent...
Ok. Je vais aller là, mais ça sert à rien.
Who's a good dog? Yeah, who's a good dog then? I like dogs. I had a border collie back home. Followed me everywhere. He was very old, but the most loyal friend you could wish for. I'd like to keep playing with the pup, but that's hardly going to get me into the museum. I'd like to keep... Yes, that might be just the thing. You want it? Yeah, you like that, don't ya?
Bon, si je fais ça, c'est que ça a un intérêt ou pas. Non, moi j'aime bien avec les animaux. Non, putain, un toutou il est gentil. Puis on essaye de faire diversion pour rentrer dans le musée, même si j'imagine que ça va pas servir à grand chose. Parce que je pense que l'intérêt c'est de passer par le toit quoi, avec l'échelle.
Good dog.
Et puis bah voilà le petit trophée qui va bien. Trophée ami des bêtes. Vous avez joué 3 fois avec le chien. Progression globale des trophées 44%. Et c'est pas le fait, c'est pas le fait.
This little dog is crazy about the ball. Maybe I can. Today, the museum is officially closed for preparations for the big Eye of the Sphinx exhibit. The Sphinx still has 2 eyes on the poster. They need to put an eye patch on it.
The museum is closed today. Come back tomorrow.
But there are visitors in the museum.
Carefully selected by Director Mokhtar. Or they have an invitation.
Is there any chance of getting such an invitation?
For you? No.
Can you please let me in? My ship sails tonight, and I can't leave Egypt without having seen a mummy.
Get yourself a shovel and head for the desert. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Never mind. See you later.
Better luck next time, huh?
You're too kind. Maybe I can Well, who wants to become an accomplice in a burglary? Yes, who wants to be an accomplice?
What are you doing? Come here, you... Stay away, you flea bag! Next time I'll wring your neck, even if it costs me my job!
You made yourself an enemy, pup.
Stupid mutt! I'll get you this time!
D'accord. C'est un très bon agent de sécurité, les amis. Hein. Alors, je trouve qu'il est, il est exceptionnel dans son travail, très consciencieux, très professionnel, très attentif à l'environnement, c'est très important. Ah, par contre, mon pote, la tatama qui descend un peu dans le meuble, un peu dégueulasse.
Oh, what the hell? Ah! Ah!
This is my chance. No, that won't work. I can't just talk the guard into letting me in.
Bah, ça servait à quoi qu'on fasse ça là? Bon, je sais pas. Est-ce qu'on a rajouté un nom sur la liste? Je sais pas. Bon, au moins on a pu avoir un trophée, on s'est diverti avec le gardien, c'était sympa, on a joué avec le toutou. J'aime bien cette petite musique, c'est dans le ton de l'Egypte et tout, c'est plutôt cool.
A true jack of all trades. What's this? Wow, nice. I'm afraid the painter discarded the overalls because he didn't want to walk around in sweat-soaked clothes all day. Ugh. But what the heck? I have no choice. A handsome man always looks good, and the disguise works.
Non, on va remettre un peu la radio parce que j'ai trouvé que c'était bien. Ah, bah on peut pas. Il ne reste plus qu'à desserrer le fin mot.
That should do it.
Ni vu ni connu. Bon, ça c'était cool.
There's a small room down there. Should be the museum's treasure chamber if my sense of direction is right. No sign of the Eye or Legrand. Shouldn't be much longer before they arrive. No sign of the Eye. No sign.
Ok.
Cold. I'd be surprised if they needed to use it often in this climate. Nothing out of the ordinary. Wait, what's this? Someone scratched a triangle into the stone. Could that mean something? won't budge. Guessing won't get me where I need to be. I need to get the blueprints from Mr. X. According to Inch, they show the secret passages in the building, and hopefully, instructions for getting into them. Guessing won't get me. I need to get...
Ok. On va poursuivre. Ah. Ah, faut que je redescende avec la tenue de peintre en fait pour rentrer par l'avant du musée. Ok. Comme ça, j'y vais en tant que peintre. Je pensais plus qu'on allait passer par là directement et avoir une tenue pour être à l'intérieur parce qu'il a vu notre visage, donc il sait qu'on n'est pas invité. Donc bon, je me dis ça c'est grillé. Après, ce qui va nous arriver, il va faire attends, tout à l'heure t'étais en tenue normale, tu disais que tu repartais et que tu voulais avoir une momie, et là tu viens avec une tenue de peintre. Quittez mon gars quoi. Vous voyez le genre, c'est un peu ce que je me dis quoi. Si le mec se dit ah ouais mais après il était parti, c'est vrai, avec le café là. J'espère qu'on va pouvoir passer.
The museum is closed today. Come back tomorrow. Or are you one of the craftsmen?
Of course I'm a craftsman.
All right. Your company is not on the list.
But it must be on the list. My boss told me everything was taken care of.
And mine told me that nobody gets in if they're not on the list. Bye.
Bon, j'ai pas été dans le bon ordre. C'est de ma faute, mais je saurai quand je rejouerai au jeu si jamais je me suis planté pour les trophées. C'est que là on va faire ça. En fait, faut lancer la batte pour aller dans le bureau. Alors après, non.
Stupid mutt, I'll get you this time.
Ouais, on n'a pas forcément fait dans l'ordre parce qu'en gros maintenant on connaît le nom de la société, donc on va pouvoir aller rajouter le nom sur la liste et ressortir et lui reparler pour dire machin machin. Il va nous reparler, vérifier la liste, il va voir qu'on est dessus. Donc désolé, ça fait 2 fois que je fais ça, je m'y suis mal pris, mais c'est pas grave hein. C'est pas grave, c'est pas grave. Le mec il boit du café toute la journée, s'il te plaît. J'aime bien cette petite chanson.
Still burning.
Le mec il s'est brûlé la langue tout à l'heure. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Ah, je me suis brûlé de ouf. Qu'est-ce que je fais? Ah bah je me refais du café. Et gros, non mais c'est pas très bon là de ta part. Hein.
Weren't you just here?
I talked to my boss again. He said we must be on the list.
Your boss can come and see for himself. There is no Hamids.
Uh-huh.
My co-worker's handwriting. I can hardly make out a single word. Ah, yes. Here. Here, put this on.
Ah, many thanks. The author's companion. She seems to be waiting for something. Maybe she's waiting for the safe too. I wouldn't have thought she'd be so interested in the jewel. I better stay away from her. There's always a risk that someone observant might recognize me, and I bet that the lady is a very good observer. Imhotep. All right, I've got the blueprints. And since I'm a craftsman, it won't seem suspicious if I study them. Here's the treasure chamber. There's another room beneath it. And here's the entrance, somewhere near the statue. And there seems to be another entrance that...
What are you doing there?
Huh? Oh, it's you.
What's going on? And what happened on the ship?
Everything is all right. I was able to stop the doctor.
What happened to him?
Inch.
You mean he...
There was nothing I could do. And he won't even tell me his plan. I'm supposed to get these blueprints and open a secret entrance to the basement beneath the treasure chamber.
A basement under the treasure chamber?
I didn't know about that before. Inch somehow heard about it, and Mr. X took care of the rest.
What's he planning?
I don't know.
I don't like it.
Me neither. The blueprints show the basement below the treasure chamber, and 2 entrances. One of them is over there, but it seems to be closed.
And the other?
It's on the roof, and there are stairs from an attic down to the basement.
And how are you supposed to get into the attic?
That's the question. There's a small triangle here on the roof with 3 numbers next to it. 3, 6, and 2.
Some kind of code.
I'll have a look around. It'll be okay.
I wish I had your confidence.
It's time for the grand finale. Don't you agree?
Take care of yourself.
You too. A plan always seems much easier when you're just talking about it, doesn't it?
Yes, but not half as exciting.
Okay, I have to open the door to the basement. Let's go. The secret entrance to the basement must be behind the statue. It's well disguised. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone undetected for decades. I can't see anything. No cracks, no handle. I won't be able to open the door from this side. I'll try to get in through the roof, then take the stairs to the basement and have a go from inside. I can't see anything. No cracks, no handle. I won't be able to open...
Bon, on a fait le tour des interactions possibles ici, enfin des interactions pardon, utiles. Donc on va poursuivre, on va aller là. On peut interagir avec rien ici non plus. Bon, on peut rien faire d'autre ici.
Shows a basement located directly below the treasure chamber. Why does Inch want to get inside? And how will he get into the treasure chamber from there?
Bon, apparemment on a fini la visite du musée. Ok, bon, on a vraiment fait le tour, donc on va ressortir et puis on va pouvoir essayer d'aller sur le toit, mais bon, je vois pas comment on pourrait résoudre l'énigme étant donné qu'on n'a rien trouvé. Bon, on va voir. Alors peut-être qu'avec le plan et qu'on a un code, une combinaison, on va peut-être pouvoir interagir avec le mur et essayer d'activer un mécanisme, faire quelque chose. Bon, ça se trouve ça suffira, juste en ayant récupéré le plan, on va peut-être pouvoir accéder à cette fameuse ouverture secrète.
No sign of the Eye or Legrand. Shouldn't be much longer before they arrive.
Ok.
The secret passage is somewhere around here on the blueprints, and so is the triangle scratched into the stone.
Ah d'accord.
That's the same triangle as on the blueprints. The numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't read anything else. Very good. Aha! Maybe this one. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. That's the same triangle as on the blueprints. The numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it.
Au début,
I can't read anything else.
c'est tout con, mais quand j'ai lu 3.6.2 au début, là je me suis foiré, j'ai activé les bonnes pierres, mais il faut juste les faire dans le bon ordre. Voilà, donc là on appuie 3, 6.
Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. That's the same the numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't read anything else.
Bah.
The secret blueprints for the museum show a basement below the treasure chamber with 2 entrances. One entrance is in the main hall behind the statue on the wall. The second can be reached via the roof and an attic room. No.
Ou alors
Nothing. Nothing's happening. Aha. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. Huh. Aha. That's the same the numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't read anything else.
Ou sinon...
No. Nothing. Aha. Huh. Strange. Aha. Huh.
Mais... je vais paraître... Enfin là je parais... je comprends pas.
Nothing's happening. Aha. Nothing. Huh. Aha. Huh. Nothing's happening. Aha. That's the same. The numbers 3. The secret blueprints for the museum. One entrance is in the main hall behind the statue on the wall. The second can be Huh. That's the numbers.
Ah, je suis désolé, ça doit être tout con, mais... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ok.
That's the same. The numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't read anything else.
Bah...
Aha. Huh. Aha. Huh. Strange.
Alors, ils nous disent 3, 6 et 2. On en dit... Enfin, il dit 3, 6, 2 et rien.
Aha.
Donc moi, qu'est-ce que je fais? Je les fais dans le même ordre.
Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Nothing's happening. Nothing's... That's the same... The numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't... The one and the second... Huh. Aha. No. Nothing's happened. Aha. Huh. Aha. Nothing's... Huh. Aha. Nothing...
Mais c'est quoi ce délire? Mais c'est...
That's the same triangle as on the blueprints. The numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't read anything else. The secret blueprints for one and the second can be read. That's the same. The numbers. Huh. Strange. Nothing's happened. Aha. Huh. Aha. Nothing's happened. Aha. Huh. That's the numbers 3, 6, and 2. Aha. Huh. Aha.
Bah, je suis désolé, je sais pas pourquoi ça veut pas.
Nothing's... There we go. The digits are written from right to left. In this part of the world, they read from right to left.
Alors, je mets juste en pause parce que je sais pas si en gros le 3, 6, 2 et rien c'était juste pour nous dire bah il faut interagir avec les pierres 3, 6 et 2 et trouver le bon ordre, ou soit ça nous disait directement l'ordre à suivre, donc 3, 6, 2, c'était les plans de quelqu'un qui connaissait, donc tu dis c'est probable. Et du coup c'était 3, 6, 2 était pas le bon ordre mais c'était 2, 6, 3. Vous voyez le délire? Ou alors c'était... on nous disait juste les 3 pierres à utiliser et en gros démerde-toi quoi. Donc je sais pas trop, c'est pas grave en soi, mais bah du coup j'ai perdu grave du temps quoi. Je suis désolé.
I'm in the museum. Well, sort of. The electrical cables don't seem like they were meant to be permanent. Probably they secretly tapped the museum's electricity. Maybe the bulb still works, but it's bright enough in here already. There's enough light shining through the holes in the roof. I don't need to turn the lamp on. Maybe the bulb still works. Old technical equipment. Inch said something about an underground that operated here in the museum during the war. Could have been a radio installation. Would have been the perfect place for it, so high above the city. There's enough light. That's tar paper, I think. Maybe it's for covering all those holes in the roof. A big heavy roll of rough tar paper, probably put there decades ago and then forgotten. A big heavy roll. Could be useful at some point. A big heavy. A bulb, a light socket, and a piece of insulated cable. Huh, they're different than what I'm used to. These things were made in the 30s. A big heavy.
Ok, on peut plus rien faire ici. Là non plus.
According to the blueprints, the stairs lead from the attic down to the secret basement. Pitch black in here.
Bon bah ça je pense que c'est un trophée qui n'est pas manquable puisque c'est lié au scénario.
Here we go. I think it's nothing.
Ah, bon. Bon, on va devoir bouger dans le noir.
The lamp was removed. You can still see the holes that the screws left. The cable was cleanly severed. I could connect the cables to each other, but I'd need to strip...
Ok. Ah, je croyais que la statue, je croyais que c'était nous, mais non en fait. Autant pour moi.
Okay, plus and minus are exposed. Here we go. I think it's nothing. I should be able to remove the insulation with this knife.
C'est vrai, à chaque fois je mélange les pinceaux, faut interagir une première fois avec un objet dans l'inventaire, le choisir, par exemple le couteau. Donc on a le couteau en haut de l'écran à gauche qui s'affiche, ça veut dire qu'il est sélectionné, après on roule l'inventaire et on sélectionne bah là par exemple la lampe avec le fil pour pouvoir dénuder les fils et tout ça pour pouvoir connecter les deux de proximité pour installer la lampe temporaire, enfin la lampe tout simplement.
Let there be light. Damn. Something's wrong with the lamp. I think the contact is dirty. I was right. The lower contact is coated with rust. The current can't flow properly, and sooner or later the bulb will burn out.
Ok. Eh ben, on sélectionne le couteau. Et on peut pas.
The bulb is dirty, but apart from that, it still looks good. The contact on the base...
J'ai une idée sinon. Ok. On va remonter en haut, se servir du papier qu'il y avait. Je sais pas si on peut s'en servir par exemple. Voilà.
Maybe
Ça va nous servir comme pour gratter en fait tout simplement et gratter la rouille.
Yes, I can use it to rub the rust off. That should do it.
Donc là c'est une phase où on voit pas grand chose, hein. Je suis désolé mais c'est normal, on est dans le noir total. Mais moi je vois pas grand chose, très peu de choses, je vois à peu près comme vous sur le stream, même je vois comme ça je dirais. Ah oui c'est vrai, c'est cette porte là, non. Donc nous c'était pas verrouillé comme ça. Ok d'accord. Ah d'accord. What? Oh le bug. Oh désolé, je pensais qu'il fallait que j'attende qu'il monte, mais en gros il était là mais invisible. Oh désolé. C'était magnifique. Bon voilà, il y a des petits bugs, c'est pas très grave, ça arrive, je veux dire. C'est pas méchant.
If it wasn't so dusty, I could easily imagine someone had been using it. What kind of stories could this room tell? About desperation, anger, triumph?
Ok.
According to the blueprints, there's supposed to be a secret door here leading into the main hall. Huh, this must be the locking mechanism. Careful now. What are you doing here? What if Inch sees you? No.
I'm sorry. He caught me.
You and your little girlfriend. You thought you could go behind my back?
Inch, no.
You deserve to die, here and now. But then I wouldn't get the eye.
Don't hurt her, please.
We'll see. Get moving.
Oh, ça, je m'y attendais pas à ça.
Ah.
And now?
Cover to the chair.
No!
Patricia!
No!
Enough! You have one and only one chance of getting out of this alive. Do what I tell you to do. Tie her to the chair.
Please don't hurt her. I beg you.
The handcuffs, now.
Please don't hurt her.
The handcuffs.
You can put the gun down. I won't try anything.
I could choose to believe you, or I could keep the gun pointed at you and know that you won't try anything. If you'd be so kind.
Can't we?
You can cuff your girlfriend to the chair. That's what you can do.
Please don't hurt her. I beg.
The handcuffs.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Look at her. Remember this scene? If you try to screw me, then...
What's the next step? What's the plan?
Everything you need is in the bag. The eye will be delivered at any moment. You abseil from the roof into the treasure chamber.
And the display case's alarm system?
The alarm will go off, but I'll ensure that the only effect will be that the security barricades in the treasure chamber close.
How will you manage that?
Let me worry about that, just like the guards. You'll have several minutes to break into the display case and climb back to the roof.
And once I have the jewel, what next? By the time I get back to the roof, the museum will be surrounded by policemen.
Correct. Escaping from the museum is impossible.
That means I stay inside the museum.
There's a bag in the basement with food and water for you and your girlfriend. I'm sure you'll find a way to pass the time for a couple of days. The police will search the whole city for the eye, but not the museum.
And once the museum's open to visitors again, Patricia and I will walk out through the secret door in the main hall to our freedom.
I'll be watching you every step of the way. You'll deliver the jewel, and then we'll never see each other again.
How am I supposed to break into the display case? It's protected by bulletproof glass.
You'll find everything you need in the bag. A clever fellow like you will know what to do with it.
How did you find out about our plan?
By chance, I must admit. I hadn't anticipated it. I didn't think that you'd build up my trust for months just to betray me.
You have to be patient if you want to steal the eyes of the Sphinx.
A virtue youth normally lacks. It's a pity we have to go our separate ways after this little incident.
I can hardly wait. Please, let Patricia go. You've got me.
A fascinating young lady. Clever, skillful, beautiful. What's she doing with a chap like you? Are you sure you're not just a pawn in her game?
Let her go.
As soon as you bring me the second eye.
If we do everything you ask, will you let us go?
I'm a poor loser, but a generous winner.
The plan might work, I must admit.
The plan will work. You'll see to that, or she'll suffer the consequences. Let's go. The clock is ticking. I have to take care of the guards and the alarm system.
It'll all work out in the end.
I know. Take care of yourself.
If you should open this door without the Eye of the Sphinx in your bag, I'll shoot first and then ask what went wrong.
Ok, patron.
You're not planning on letting us go, are you?
I need a scapegoat. Otherwise, the traitor would already be dead.
He doesn't understand because he doesn't think like you.
You messed with the wrong man, and now you have to suffer the consequences.
Climbing equipment, including a rope, a cloth bag. Huh? A pack of gum. Why did Inch put a pack of gum in a cloth bag? That's all. Climbing equipment and a pack of chewing gum. I'm beginning to feel under-equipped for this burglary. Looks like I'll have to improvise. A good rope, and more than long enough to abseil down into the treasure chamber. I'll leave it there until I need it. This is the same climbing equipment that I wore for the burglary in London, only the mask is missing. Does Inch want to make sure that the security cameras can see my handsome face? There's nothing else in the bag, and I don't need the bag itself. I can't stop thinking about her, but I must. I have a job to do, and it won't help either of us if I'm not totally focused. Everything will be fine. Nothing will go wrong. We'll walk out of the museum and get married. A pack of chewing gum. Huh, my favorite brand. Maybe the tap is meant to depressurize the water tank if it rains too much. Or it's just a practical way for the window washers to get some fresh water up here. A small cloth bag that can be drawn together at the top. Only one piece left. What's this? Unless this is the most expensive chewing gum commercial ever, Inch wanted me to find the diamond. I'm sure it's not a reward for all my hard work. The diamond isn't bad, not flawless, but very big. Would it be good for an engagement ring? Once the chewing gum loses its flavor, I can wrap it in this and throw it away. I once heard that chewing gum improves concentration. I could really use the help. Every time I don't have the knife with me, I need it. Does this mean that I won't need it, since I have it with me this time?
Bon, ça sert à rien de plus.
A good rope, and more than long enough to abseil down into the treasure chamber. A crank. Something for opening windows that are too heavy to move with your hands. Your new home. That tarp is covering something. Bucket, rags, squeegee, tools of the trade for window washers. Probably didn't feel like carrying their equipment up to the roof every time, so they stashed it here. I don't need the squeegee. The bucket? Not really. This rag, on the other hand, I could wipe away fingerprints with it. Oh, cold, dripping wet. I'm not putting it in my pocket like that. I can see the treasure chamber. There are several people moving around down there. I think the eye is being delivered. This window can be opened. Must be an entrance for the window washers and maintenance crews when they have to work up here in the cupola. There's a mechanism that opens the window when you turn the crank. I see two contacts down there on the frame. There's a piece of metal stuck between them and fixed to the window. If I open the window, the piece of metal will move, breaking the circuit and setting off an alarm. Unless the guards have been notified beforehand, which is hardly an option in my case. I have to bypass the circuit. Somehow I have to get at the contacts of the alarm system and override the circuit. Only then can I open the window safely. Somehow I have to get at the That really isn't my... How's that supposed to work? The contacts are on the other side of the window. I can't reach them.
Bah ouais.
That Somehow I have to...
Ah merde. Faut que j'utilise la corde maintenant? Je pense, ouais.
I'll leave it there until I need it.
Ah, bah non.
I'll leave it a good rope and more.
Bah.
Somehow I have to get at the contacts of the alarm system. I can't cut any of the windows out of the frame, but this window has a rubber seal on the bottom and the sides.
Ok.
The roof of the museum is now officially drafty. Without a seal, there's a 1 or 2 centimeter gap below the window. Just enough to slip a couple of fingers through. Okay, I'm in. And now back and forth and away we go. Got it. The wet rag is lying on the contacts.
Ok, bon, c'était tout con.
Excellent. No alarm.
Ah oui. On voit la carte qui reste et après il se retourne et elle est plus là.
I don't see anyone.
Ah, il y a des petits bugs comme ça où on voit il commence à descendre et après, hop, petite cinématique ou petite transition et boum, on voit on le revoit revenir en arrière pour redescendre. Excellent. Bon, c'est des petits bugs, des petits défauts, mais il n'y a rien de méchant et ça ruine pas l'expérience de jeu. C'est pas très grave.
The display case is bolted to the floor and weighs several hundred kilograms.
What's that? A camera?
The latest model. It's called video surveillance.
I've heard about that. The images are recorded and can be viewed again later.
That's right. Images from all 3 cameras are recorded in the guard room.
Wow.
As I've said, we've spared no effort and no expense.
I think I've seen enough here, but I'm interested in something else.
The camera covers the whole room, and I don't have a mask. I have to deactivate it, but how? Just have to hope that Inch knocked out the guard in the guard room. If not, he'll be on his way to check the cameras soon. Here goes nothing. The camera is no longer a threat. Now or never.
Ok, vous êtes descendu en rappel dans la salle du trésor, donc bah forcément lié à l'histoire, je pense. Enfin, je suis même sûr.
Someone could come back any moment, and then I'll have another problem. I need to hurry. As a visitor, I'd only have eyes for the jewel. As a burglar, though, I'm more interested in the bulletproof glass, about half an inch thick. There's no glass cutter that could do the job. All right then, bulletproof glass. How can I get past it? All right then, Of course, diamonds cut glass. And even bulletproof glass is softer than a diamond, but the diamond is tiny. I can barely hold it. and I need to do more than just scratch the glass. All right then, bulletproof. I can't cut the pane even if I can't break into it.
Ok, le papier sert à rien.
Press the diamond into the chewing gum with the tip towards the window. The chewing gum holds the tip of the diamond right on the bulletproof glass. That's promising. The chewing gum holds the tip of the diamond right on the bulletproof glass. That's promising.
Oh merde. Mais... J'ai loupé un truc.
This code doesn't apply to burglars.
J'avais pas vu ça. Autant pour moi.
Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. No, no! He wants to lock me in. But why? He doesn't have the jewel yet. What is he... Oh, no.
Oups. On s'est fait baiser.
Oh, my head hurts.
Ah. Vous avez survécu à l'explosion dans la salle du trésor. Ok.
The sarcophagus protected me from flying debris. The ancient Egyptians knew their stuff. Constable Oliver, he's totally focused on the hole in the floor. As long as I'm quiet, he won't notice me. As long as I'm quiet. This is the opposite of a clever burglary. Inch must have decided to do it the violent way as soon as he realized he couldn't count on me. I would have died in the explosion and been the scapegoat. I have to get back to the attic as fast as I can. Inch is there alone with Alex. I have to get back to the attic. Everything's destroyed. Priceless works of art, centuries old. Nothing is sacred to Inch.
Ça c'est bien
I
vrai.
have to get back as long as I'm quiet.
He's up there, Robert. I know it.
Maybe. Go to the guard room and open the gates.
Tell the director.
Zelna, don't do it. It's too dangerous.
I've got everything under control.
Sorry, Constable. He's unconscious. He'll wake up with a headache in a few minutes. There is no other way.
Ok.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all? Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story. No!
Oh merde.
Stupid little policeman. He shouldn't have messed with the Raven.
You aren't the Raven! The Raven would never have shot a defenseless old man!
No, he wouldn't have. But now he has. At least that's what everyone will think.
Why does that matter? Who are you?
We worked for him, for the Raven. My brother and I. He's responsible for my brother being shot and for my crippled arm. He sacrificed us.
Who? Who is the Raven?
I don't know. I never met him, and in all these years, I've never found him.
You don't know who you worked for?
No one knows who the Raven is. Some say he's dead. The fact is, he never returned to the stage after that fatal night in Paris.
So you want to lure him out of hiding?
And if anything can, it's the burglary of the century executed by another thief while using his name.
He doesn't come.
But I still got my revenge. The gentleman thief, now a bomb-throwing murderer. Oh, I do hope he is still with us, watching helplessly as I ruin his life's work, as he ruined mine. Enough chatter. I'll be going.
But why?
Your little girlfriend escaped, and if I can't eliminate all the witnesses, I can at least destroy their credibility. Why did you just shoot poor Constable Zellner, lad? They'll hang you and your accomplice. Ha ha ha!
Merde.
You've met your match, Raven. You hear me? Wherever you are, I beat you.
Good evening, Mr. Inch. The eyes of the Sphinx, if you would be so kind.
You? That's impossible!
The jewels, now! Inch, don't move a muscle. You're under arrest.
Excellent. Ce sont des faux. Enfin, je pense qu'il me semble que ça se casse pas comme ça. Si ça se casse comme ça, c'est que c'est des faux. Après, j'y connais rien en bijouterie, mais il me semble. Il me semble. Revirement de situation. Je m'attendais pas à ce que l'inspecteur Legrand soit là.
A master thief who stole 2 cheap fakes and then fell to his
Ah, c'est ça.
A shot that no one could explain. But for the newspapers, it was the real jewels that were the heart of the story. The eyes of the Sphinx, reunited in the Egyptian Museum.
What kind of game is this?
The Raven's game.
At least you caught him, again.
I saw the surprise and the anger in Inch's eyes. He knew he'd been played.
You don't mean...
At first they wanted us to believe that it was Gephardt. And now we're supposed to believe that it was Inch. He's still out there.
So then, who is the Raven?
Excellent. Donc, Adil n'est pas le corbeau, c'était juste l'associé de Inch. Au début, je pensais que Inch était le corbeau, et on pouvait le penser aussi, mais c'était pas Inch non plus. Mais on sait ce qui s'est passé, c'est C'était l'un des complices du corbeau avec son frangin. Son
Hello
frangin s'est
there,
fait tuer, je pense, à
handsome
Paris,
devil.
cette fameuse nuit.
Hey there, pretty lady.
Don't! My father will be here any moment.
Did you tell him about our engagement?
She did.
What?
I almost slipped out of character.
Oh, Daddy, we all know that would never happen. You were Anton Jakob Zellner through and through, even with the world crashing down around you.
Didn't go too badly, did it?
Well, Inch nearly blew us up, and I was almost charged with murder.
Ah, yes. Exciting, wasn't it?
Ah,
I
je m'attendais
haven't had
pas du tout
fun
à ça,
like
quoi.
that since I retired.
Dr. Gebhardt nearly killed you.
Nobody could have suspected the doctor. At least we managed to clear things up quickly.
I would have preferred it if things went according to the old plan. We would have swapped the jewel aboard the ship, and Alex wouldn't have been kidnapped by Inch.
And I'd have preferred it if you hadn't given me a nasty bump on my noggin.
And what would your excuse have been for staying on board if I hadn't? Hey, I improvised.
Good point.
I was afraid Inch would realize you were wearing a bulletproof vest.
He was too confident. After he foiled your plan, he thought he had everything under control. He never really took a look at the emerald in the display case. He just assumed that they shipped the real jewel from Switzerland.
And after my little tussle with Inch, we had both jewels.
He blew half the museum to smithereens just to steal a fake.
He was always rude and insolent. I never should have worked with him. His double-dealing cost his brother's life.
And his own as well.
I'd still rather see him in jail than in a morgue.
He shouldn't have messed with the Raven.
To your retirement.
To the future.
Alors autant j'ai dit en début de stream et j'en parlais aussi lors de la première partie qu'il y a des bouts de scénario, il y a des choses que l'on connaît, qui sont prévisibles, qu'on a l'habitude dans le genre de point and click ou dans les enquêtes criminelles, ce genre d'affaires. Mais là j'avoue que cette histoire du corbeau, je m'attendais pas du tout à ça. C'est franchement bien amené, bien fait, je trouve.
Finally. Dear Nico, the Raven
is dead. Yet other criminals live, and they are more brutal and ruthless than he ever was. Who will stop them? It would be tragic if a good policeman failed to do so because he was hunting for a dead man and ruining himself in the process. Let the dead rest in peace. They are not coming back.
R.
Excellent ça aussi. Ça, c'était pas obligé ce petit échange à la fin, cette petite cinématique avec cette lettre et cette lecture. Mais c'est bien, ça rajoute un petit truc. Je sais pas, c'est cool. Non, c'est cool. J'ai vraiment adoré ce jeu. Vraiment, il a des petits défauts, ok. Mais c'est du bon point and click comme je l'aime. Et c'est une histoire agréable et on passe un bon moment, je trouve. J'ai pas eu beaucoup de trophées, mince. Bon, bah tant pis. On a eu 3 trophées, donc The Raven, le dernier trophée qu'on a eu, c'est un trophée or si je ne m'abuse. Enfin, il me semble, quand j'ai regardé vite fait les trophées, c'est un trophée que l'on obtient automatiquement dès lors qu'on finit le jeu. Donc immanquable dans le sens, si vous faites le jeu jusqu'au bout, vous l'avez. Le truc amateur, je crois que c'était le premier trophée par rapport à notre parcours dans le chapitre 3. Si on a résolu trouvé tous les indices, ce genre de choses. Le perfectionniste, est-ce que on a interagi avec tout? Est-ce qu'on a trouvé tous les secrets indices? Ou est-ce que c'est lié au chapitre 3? Je ne sais pas. Parce que parfois, il y a des trophées qui tombent tout à la fin du jeu, puisqu'ils sont... comment dire, c'est un trophée qui demande des actions spécifiques tout au long de l'aventure, par exemple. Là, ça peut être le cas, je sais pas. Je sais pas. On va regarder. Donc, enquêteur amateur, pardon, épisode 3. Vous avez terminé l'épisode 3, ok. Voilà, perfectionniste, vous avez débloqué tout le contenu bonus, ok. Et The Raven, trophée, vous avez terminé The Raven. Donc c'est bien ce que je disais. Et on est à 61% de progression générale des trophées. On a obtenu 27 trophées sur 35 en une partie découverte. Ce qui est franchement... c'est cool. C'est pas mal. On aurait peut-être pu platiner le jeu une seule fois. Mais j'ai préféré rien me spoil, découvrir avec vous le jeu et de toute façon, il faut toujours faire... Enfin, pour ma part, je fais toujours des découvertes totales de mes jeux. La première fois, je trouve que c'est plus intéressant. Si on suit avec un guide direct et qu'on sait quoi faire, où aller, avec quoi interagir, dans quel ordre pour résoudre les trucs, ça n'a pas trop d'intérêt. Si c'est des jeux que j'ai déjà fait, même il y a plusieurs années ou autres, pourquoi pas, quand on les a déjà fait. Et encore plus en stream, la première partie c'est toujours découverte, mais c'est plutôt simple. Et du coup, normalement, il y a 2 trophées liés au chapitre. Comme je vous disais, il y a 3 trophées par chapitre. Enquêteur amateur, où en gros, je crois que c'est finir chaque chapitre. On a un trophée dès lors qu'on finit chaque chapitre. Et après, il y a 2 trophées, il me semble, par rapport aux différents indices et aux différentes énigmes du chapitre. Si on fait tout comme il faut, ou dans un certain ordre ou autre, qu'on a une certaine progression ou un certain savoir-faire dans l'enquête, et ben on débloque 2 trophées en plus, il me semble, par chapitre. Pour le chapitre 2, on a eu les 3 trophées liés au chapitre, mais pour le chapitre 1, j'ai vu qu'il y en avait 3, j'en ai eu qu'un sur les 3, et le chapitre 3, je crois qu'il y en avait 3 aussi, on en a eu qu'un. Donc je pense que je vais falloir travailler sur ça, et je crois que on a dit 27 sur 35, ça fait 31 trophées. Ok, s'il m'en manque moins 2, ça doit être ça. Plus le platine, ça ferait 32. J'en ai vu un, il faut aller accuser la bonne personne à un moment, ça ferait 33. Et après, il en resterait 2, je verrai ce que c'est comme trophée. Puis je pourrais les faire sur une deuxième partie hors stream ou en reprenant le jeu chapitre par chapitre, je vais voir. Mais malgré quelques petits soucis, alors malgré le gros bug du début lors de la première partie quand on a découvert le jeu lors du premier stream où pendant 45 minutes j'avais un très gros bug, j'avais les dialogues en anglais mais je n'avais aucun sous-titre à part les sous-titres par exemple ou de choisir les dialogues ou les interactions, ce genre de choses, ou pour interagir avec les décors par exemple, mais j'avais pas les dialogues qui s'affichaient sous-titrés en français, ni même dans les autres langues. Si je m'abuse, j'avais testé, ça ne fonctionnait pas. Donc à part ce gros bug, on a eu quelques petits soucis. Alors je vous disais par exemple tout à l'heure quand on est passé par le toit et qu'on est rentré dans la pièce secrète qui servait pendant la guerre, de poste un petit peu de résistance ou voilà, avec le poste radio, quand je suis redescendu et que je suis remonté en haut, il y a eu un gros bug puisque notre perso, donc Adil, n'était plus à l'écran, n'était plus visible, mais il m'a fallu que je bouge un tout petit peu pour m'apercevoir qu'on était déjà arrivé en fait. On a grimpé à l'échelle, mais le jeu n'a pas fait pop notre personnage. Il était là physiquement, mais à l'écran on ne le voyait pas, donc il a fallu que je bouge et j'ai pop direct. Voilà, donc il y avait ce bug là. Sinon, après c'est des petits bugs, je sais pas, vous interagissez avec un objet, il reste à sa place et en fait il y a une petite transition, un petit truc et vous voyez que l'objet des pops, ce genre de choses, des petites bêtises, ou parfois, des petites conneries, ou parfois quand vous interagissez pour aller dans une zone suivante ou passer une pièce ou autre, vous voyez votre personnage qui se retépait un très court instant à sa position initiale et après vous poursuivez. Donc c'est des petits bugs qu'on peut voir sur des point and click, c'est pas très grave, c'est pas méchant. Sur des jeux comme ça, c'est pas le genre de choses auxquelles je vais trop m'arrêter. Les bugs qu'on peut avoir qui vont être plus chiants, c'est par exemple, je sais pas, si vous interagissez, impossible d'interagir avec un élément, de récupérer un élément important ou autre. Voilà, des choses qui vous empêchent d'avancer, ça c'est plus chiant. Et c'est vraiment des bugs dont on va parler en mauvais point, dire bah là, le truc il est buggé, c'est chiant, on peut pas avancer, on est bloqué, machin. Voilà. comme au tout début, le gros bug des dialogues qui n'étaient pas les sous-titres des dialogues qui n'étaient pas affichés, quelle que soit la langue paramétrée pour le jeu, ça c'était problématique. Le fait aussi que les sous-titres, au bout de 3/4 d'heure, j'ai réussi à les faire pop, et du coup j'ai supprimé le premier stream, on a relancé un stream propre pour découvrir le jeu jusqu'au bout, donc pour vraiment se lancer vraiment directement dedans proprement. Le réglage que j'ai fait, comment dire, c'est que j'ai mis que je voulais que le jeu soit en audio anglais et sous-titres français, donc ça je l'ai bien réglé, donc c'est bien ce qui se passe, audio anglais, sous-titres français, sauf que le jeu, je lui ai demandé qu'il n'affiche pas les sous-titres, parce que sous-titres, j'ai mis non, mais il les affiche quand même. Donc voilà, c'est bugué de ce côté-là, mais tant que ça marche, aujourd'hui on a repris avec cette deuxième partie, cette suite F1, on n'a pas eu de bug de sous-titres, ils se sont implantés directement jusqu'au bout, donc c'est très bien. Des petits bugs mineurs, mais sinon vraiment une histoire, une superbe histoire, un super point technique, moi j'ai vraiment adoré. Et j'ai bien aimé l'histoire, j'ai été pris et retenu à Watt un peu en retard. Là on est à la 3e mi-temps là gros. C'est pas grave. Au moins tu viens de faire un passage, c'est gentil. Et du coup, qu'est-ce que je disais, merde. Ouais, un bon jeu. Moi j'ai vraiment adoré. J'étais pris jusqu'au bout. Et il y avait des choses, comme je disais, qui étaient prévisibles, parce que c'est normal quand on connaît ce style de jeu, ce type de jeu dans le sens, enfin ce type d'enquête, parce que là c'est typiquement du vol criminel, voilà ce genre de choses. C'est dans l'univers de l'esprit d'Agatha Christie, donc bon, il suffit de lire un peu les bouquins ou de connaître pour savoir un peu ce qui se passe. Mais là, j'avoue qu'il y a eu des retournements, il y a eu des surprises, des retournements de situation. Par exemple, notre personnage qui se fait tuer, le personnage principal qu'on incarnait, donc Zelmal ou je sais plus quoi là, celui qu'on voit à l'écran là, on se fait tuer et après on change de personnage. J'ai dit, enfin, mais du coup on savait pas si on se faisait tuer. Je me fais merde. Et après le docteur qui tue la baronne, je m'y attendais pas, enfin on pouvait s'y attendre mais on savait pas trop, et après on a eu les explications sur cette suite F1, donc c'était excellent. Inch, donc l'homme à tout faire de la baronne, se faisait passer pour le corbeau, l'un des plus grands cambrioleurs de tous les temps, et du coup je m'y attendais pas à ça non plus. Il travaillait avec Abel, donc voilà, il y avait tout ça, et les liens avec Abel et sa petite amie qui étaient infiltrés sur le navire, et surtout la véritable identité du corbeau. C'est ça qui est fantastique. À la toute fin qu'on a découvert sur la plage, je m'attendais pas du tout à ça. Donc il y a des choses qui sont prévisibles, il y a des choses auxquelles on peut s'attendre, mais je pense que cette fin, que ce soit lui, qu'on le voit à l'écran, qu'il soit le corbeau, le véritable cambrioleur de grande classe qui fait les plus gros casses sans un seul mort, ouais, sans tuer personne ni blesser gravement personne. Ça, je m'y attendais pas. Peut-être que d'autres s'y attendaient dès le début ou au bout d'un moment en jouant au jeu. Très, très franchement, je trouve que le jeu, ils ont bien amené les choses jusqu'à la fin. On était à fond dedans et ils nous dévoilent ça à la fin. Donc je trouve que c'est plutôt bien fait, cette scène sur la plage où l'on apprend des choses, et en changeant de personnage au bout d'un moment, à partir du chapitre 2 voire 3, je crois que c'est fin du chapitre 2 et 3, et surtout pendant le 3, et ben les changements de personnage me permettent de voir l'histoire d'un autre côté, au même moment, mais au travers des yeux d'un autre personnage. Donc on fait des actions différentes, mais on apprend des choses par rapport aux différents personnages, leur passé, des choses importantes. Et ma foi c'est pas mal, et c'est une formule qui marche bien. Voilà, moi j'ai passé un bon moment. Donc c'était cool. Et puis maintenant, je vais pouvoir poursuivre pour platiner le jeu, mais comment dire, mais ouais, c'était un plaisir, et ça sera un plaisir de le refaire partiellement en sélection du chapitre, si je peux faire chapitre par chapitre. Normalement oui, ou en le refaisant intégralement, ça sera un plaisir de le refaire une deuxième fois, pas en stream bien entendu. Mais je pense que je vais kiffer de le refaire tranquillement pour le platiner. Ça fera un platine de plus, un point and click de plus de fait. Et je regrette pas l'expérience, c'est une très bonne expérience. Sur le store, il était en promo à 2€ et quelques l'autre jour, 2,99 je crois, pour les abonnés PS Plus. C'est peanuts, c'est que dalle. Et très franchement, pour le temps de jeu, ça vaut largement le coup. Quand on aime ce style de jeu, faut foncer, je pense. Et en version physique, il coûte moins de 10€. Donc à moins de 10€, je pense que pour ceux qui aiment ce style de jeu, faut pas trop se priver non plus, faut pas trop se poser de questions. C'est typiquement le genre de jeu que vous allez faire. Si vous aimez les point and click, il y a de grandes chances que vous aimez. Et même si vous accrochez pas ou vous aimez pas trop, pour moins de 10€, tester un jeu d'une dizaine d'heures environ, un petit peu moins en fonction de comment vous êtes rapide ou non. Très franchement, c'est pas cher payé, ça va, quoi. Je veux dire, c'est très raisonnable. Donc ouais, content pour ma part. Et puis bah, il va falloir trouver un autre jeu pour à commencer à faire en parallèle d'Odyssée, parce que dans Odyssée il n'est pas défini. Donc merci à tous d'avoir été présents cette nuit sur cette suite et fin de The Raven Remastered. Merci également à celles et ceux qui auront été présents sur la première partie, et pour toutes celles et ceux qui auront été présents sur les deux streams. Donc un stream plus court que d'habitude, mais bon, on est déjà un peu plus de 3 heures du stream, donc ça fait quand même un très bon stream en termes de durée, c'est très bien. On a fini une nouvelle fois un nouveau jeu en stream, donc ça c'est parfait. Un jeu d'horreur. Le pire c'est que j'en ai quelques-uns, hein. J'en ai pas mal. J'en ai racheté en plus là dernièrement, je crois. Et prochainement, je crois que fin juin, il y en a un nouveau qui est sorti sur PC il y a quelques semaines, mois, mais qui va sortir fin juin ou d'ici fin juin sur console. Donc à voir, mais c'est possible, un autre jeu d'horreur. J'ai plein de petits jeux que je voudrais faire dans le même style, alors peut-être d'autres points techniques, mais surtout dans le même style que The Raven, en termes de durée, une dizaine d'heures, un petit peu moins, ou des jeux un peu plus courts. Comme ça permet de découvrir des nouveaux jeux, d'alterner et de faire des jeux différents, surtout d'en faire en parallèle d'Odyssée, donc c'est très bien. Mais ouais, il faut que je réfléchisse à un nouveau jeu à faire en parallèle d'Odyssée, mais normalement, de toute façon, avant cela, avant d'attaquer un nouveau jeu en stream, le prochain stream, quand, je ne sais pas, très probablement dans la semaine, peut-être pas dès demain, je vais voir en fonction de... Parce qu'en ce moment il fait très chaud et c'est compliqué, mais si je suis en forme et que je suis pas trop embêté par la chaleur, on verra, je pense, pour attaquer peut-être dès demain ou d'ici 2 jours par exemple, on reprendra Odyssée, donc on poursuivra le prochain stream, ce sera sur Odyssée, et dans 2 streams, et puis bah le stream d'après sera du coup sur un nouveau jeu que je vais choisir d'ici là. Donc encore merci à tous, et puis je vous souhaite une très bonne nuit, et je vous dis à très bientôt pour un nouveau stream. Bye bye.